and that can help you with design ideas and color combinations, it was a no-brainer. See for yourself. Just call 800-GO-CERTA or go to CERTAPro.com and get a free estimate. And remember, CERTA is with a C. 800-GO-CERTA or go to CERTAPro.com for CERTAPro painters. We do painting, you do life.
Starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct, get 5 years zero-interest financing on any purchase with nothing down. It starts this Saturday at Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis. Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get late.
Kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is good! Adam Vinatieri, at age 45, drills one from 57 yards out.
Was kept alive by Oldest Depot, and Sabonis with a left hand.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, hey, good afternoon in here on a Monday. All over the place today. We're not going to be all over the place. We'll be obviously focused in on just a few things, and both, if not a little bit more of those things, will be Colts-based. Rick Venturi makes his 2019 season debut today at 4:30. Now, he mentioned that he would take some phone calls. We'll see about Rick taking some phone calls. I mean, if not, I'm just going to kind of turn him loose and let him go. You know, clearly I'm going to let him take off on what has transpired since Saturday night around here. If you guys were around yesterday, we came in and did an emergency afternoon programming here locally because that's what we give you. That's our job, and that's what I hope that you expect. So it was glorious. It's funny. There's a lot of stuff floating around. I know I heard nationally somebody was using my my vacation or whatever theory. Whatever. Listen, I'm past caring about it. I am. Like somebody, I forget who it was, man, because I've talked to so many people on the past couple of days, but somebody said, oh, why is you irate? I think it's that Chris Pinson, who sometimes can be a pain. Sometimes he's a good dude, but sometimes he's a pain. But he said, oh, you guys are all mad because Adam Schefter, beat everybody to the story. I said, I'm not mad about anything. I mean, I did that one time, and I caught heat for like 4 months from everybody, and even the local team. Bill Polian had everybody but the damn janitor on here saying that I was full of crap. So, I mean, I had my one time and I was good with it. I just want to keep you informed because, again, that's my gig. But I mean, that's why Schefter is there. And that's why I tried to explain to you that it wasn't wrong for him to break that story because that's why he's paid millions. He is employed by ESPN to do just that. He was just doing his job. Now, as we discussed yesterday, from what I was told, it came from the sideline, the leak, and I don't know if they found it out yet. I don't know if they're still worried about it. I don't know if they're moving on or whatever. But that would also make sense to me, too. It would make sense to me in this fashion that if Andrew shared that, what he was about to do, what he was going to do with teammates, a couple of teammates, before he actually shared that with the entire locker room, then maybe that does make its way up the chain, and then ultimately it hits Adam Schefter, and there you go. At least that's what I was told yesterday. Greg Doyle was on here, and Greg Doyle alluded to, even more so, he thought it was maybe somebody related to, as far as somebody representing, along with Jacoby Brissett. But I wanted to make clear, just because if he's right, he needs to get credit for it. That was Greg's. That wasn't mine. Mine was just somewhere on the sideline. I was not as clear as that. Anyway, that is something we shall discuss. I'm going to get to the crowd reaction and then the player reaction since then. Yeah, at some point this is all going to settle down, but I think we all need to practice. Like, I think everybody's kind of treated the last 48 hours as like drunken midnight on Twitter on a Saturday, Sunday morning. Because everybody's just saying the most ridiculous, stupid-ass things. And then ultimately you regret it, but that's kind of what's happened. But before I get to that, and the players' responses to the booing, and then obviously moving on now with Jacoby Brissett under center, we shall recap what has taken place since Saturday night here. And again, it's funny. I go all the way back to Saturday afternoon. So I am doing a pregame show. I have 4 hours of pregame shows. I did double duty. I was 2 until 4 and then 4 until 6, 2 until 4, bullseyeeventgroup.com. And what I do with that is I stack up with like local guests and we talk about a variety of things. One of which was Greg Rakestraw, who was in the television booth on Fox 59 with Rick Venturi. And Greg had told me, yeah, you know what? We're expecting Jim Irsay to be in the booth. And I said, cool. All right. Because, I wanted that. I wanted to hear it. So we move on. I go to the other pregame show, the pregame huddle, and Rick Venturi came on, who was the color analyst in the television booth, and I kind of mentioned that to him, and he didn't go anywhere with it, which was very unusual. So that kind of got me a bit perked up, and of course I wanted to see it. I bailed around halftime or something, I think. I went home and I prepared for the fourth quarter, and I was sitting and I was waiting, and I was wondering, I wonder what's going to happen here. And then all of a sudden, Schefter broke that thing, and then everything changed. And everything changed. And as I explained to you yesterday, there are layers to this. I mean, normally in this business, you're supposed to go on one side and then rail on the other side until you think you got somewhere with them and convince them, or until you just wear them out and they just get the hell out of Dodge. Right? You know that. That's what is supposed to be done. You got to stick to a conclusion and you got to stay with it. Well, in this case, that's completely unnecessary. That's completely the wrong way to look at it. Because here's how you look at it. On one hand, as I mentioned yesterday, and some of this is going to be a recap if you guys listened in yesterday, as I explained, on the luck side of things, I absolutely understand it. I mean, you're at a point in your life, you're turning 30, your life is changing, lifestyle is going to change a little bit, married, have a kid, and you're simply over the pain, over dealing with crap, over rehab. Somebody had told me that he really didn't, and yeah, listen, we'll never find out the truth about this, I doubt, but he really didn't. This rehab effort wasn't as hardcore as those of the past. If you remember, back from the Netherlands and then working on that shoulder with Tom House and coming out of that missed season, he was a bulldog. He is an absolute bulldog. He wanted to get back. He mentioned in that presser on Saturday that he was kind of jealous of Jacoby Brissett because he was the starting quarterback and he was missing out on all this. I mean, he had a fire. The fire was stoked. And I think we saw last year that through all that, it was justified because he had 39 touchdowns and he played incredibly well, especially once he caught fire, got into gear. After that 1-5 start, they finally got him another wide receiver, which was nice. He started to catch fire. Started to look good, started to become the Andrew Luck that you saw in the first 3 years that looked like that he was injury and pain-free. I don't know if Andrew Luck was ever injury or pain-free, but that is the way that it looked last year. And then whenever you do this, and as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I was told it was at the end of the season with the calf, and it really wasn't anything. They didn't think about it. And then I don't know, the calf muscle is connected to the shin bone, and the shin bone's connected to the foot bone. I don't know. And the Mo's connected to this, and we are all this. That's where what I was told kind of stops here, right? So you got to go through this, and you're trying to get rid of the pain, and you're going through rehab, and you're not really as focused in on or desire the rehab as much as maybe you did the year prior coming back from the shoulder. And the pain, according to Luck, and remember, his people were guiding this thing, the pain, according to Luck, was just tiresome. The entire process is tiresome. And evidently, He at some point, and listen, I don't know. You guys are asking me, did the Colts know in March? Did they know in April? I don't know what they knew. I mean, is it logical that Luck may have said, you know what? I'm sick of this pain. This whole thing sucks. I think I'm just going to retire. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's logical. But I don't know if Chris automatically held an executive order meeting and said, well, you know what? Number 12's out of here now because he said, you know what? I don't know. Logical in passing, yes. Meant, in this case, as a conspiracy theorist and some that have been thrown at me right now, was it something that he meant at that time? If he did say it, has he meant it for, I don't know. I don't know that. You know, people are suggesting that the Colts have known and maybe they just kind of let him go through camp to see if they could change his mind. Man, that's a hell of a lot of risk right there for an organization that just kind of got clowned 2 years ago by how it handled things, right? I mean, a lot of this is just really hard to understand for me until I hear more, with the exception for one thing. And this dude has a ton of money. He's had a great deal of success. He's nearing 30. Life is changing. He has the means. Sick of rehabbing, sick of injuries, sick of pain. I'm just done. And that's that. And you just step away. All right? If that's the case, I mean, if that was preying on your mind and you just couldn't handle it anymore, you know, whether it was a lot of pain, I'm assuming they brought Tom House normally just does his stuff from his mansion in Southern California, so I'm sure that they didn't bring him in here for a dog and pony show or anything. I mean, there's a reason why something was going on. I think that he was trying to get back, and I think that he had intentions during camp that he was going to play and just kind of just said, you know, I'm done. So I don't know. I don't know if there was a seed planted long ago or what, but a lot of this does sound logical to me. So, all right, the guy has a decision. He wants to make it. So what does he do? He bails. He chooses quality of life and being with his family and being able to do things. I mean, we've known this forever. He's not like Peyton Manning. I mean, Peyton Manning was all football all the time. That's all that dude cared about. Hey, let's go run a route tree. I mean, hell, you get Reggie Wayne and these guys together at a party or whatever, and they're going to go out in somebody's yard and run a route tree, no matter what time of year that it is. That's just the way that he was built. Andrew Luck wasn't built like that. You know, Andrew Luck loved to play, had the desire to play, loved to succeed, was incredibly talented at it, but had other things that he wanted to do. You know, it was just different. So that's why on this show or any other one, I have never gone out and tried to compare the Manning era to anything that Luck was trying to accomplish, because there is no comparison. Really, in the history of the NFL, there's really only one. One greater than would be Tom Brady that's still ongoing in Foxborough. That's it. So while everybody else is out there, you know, punching each other in the shoulder and acting like jackasses and comparing generational quarterbacks here, I'm just going to tell you, I thought Luck was really good. And that's what I expected, him to be really good. And he was really good. But he wasn't built like Manning. And I think you kind of see that now. You know that now if you didn't see that beforehand. So, again, if he wanted to step away and he wanted to retire, well done. Do it. But it does come at a cost. And there is reason to. That's why this is not just a one-sided story. It's not a one-sided issue. It comes at a cost. And it's going to come at some criticism because you wait until the last possible ridiculous minute to do this, and you screw a lot of people. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't know him well. The only way that I know him is by virtue of having him on this show, and that means absolutely zilch. But I bet you, one of these days, if not now or at some point, he is, depending upon what happens with this team, is going to regret doing it when he did it. Because it hoses a lot of folks. It hoses his teammates. His teammates right now that readily back him up. And you know what? They should. It's exactly what you would expect. I mean, hell, one of the major focuses of this team since Chris Ballard got here, remember all the dysfunction with Pagano and Grigson and fight here and fight there, and they can't get along, and then everything in the world was like a damn sprinkler system coming out of that locker room with information. I mean, it was a mess. And since Ballard has been here, they have tried to focus in on creating a great locker room, and we all get tired of hearing it because at some point you get sick and tired of hearing about your locker room culture and you want to hear about winning some games. I do understand that. But do you think a locker room that's supposed to be this great has been described as such for the last couple of years? You think all of a sudden they're going to turn on it? There might be a point down the road where they will. I mean, think about this, for example. Think about if this team is really good other than the quarterback is an incredible struggle. And they near miss a lot of benchmarks that we felt expectation-wise they should hit over the course of this season. Right? I mean, that could build a little bit of discord in your average locker room competitor right there. I think that is just natural. I think that's going to be natural. So you got to be critical about that because the timing is ridiculous. You get this far down the road, go. But again, if you're in pain and you don't want to, it's tough to tell somebody go even though you don't want to play because normally in those circumstances, if you're not fully invested, you don't want that guy around. So the criticism is there. The criticism is with the Colts. And I've told you this over and over. A lot of you agree with me. Some of you don't. I don't care. Some of you buy into, your average Alex Jones conspiracy theories. I don't. I talk to people that know. We have conversations. Sometimes I'll let you in on them. Sometimes I don't. And then I form my own opinions without going absolutely crazy over everything. Yeah, I don't think, at least from what I've been told, that they were trying to get one over on anybody. I mean, hell, if you learned anything from 2 years ago, at the very least you would learn that. But let me tell you this. That doesn't mean you can't botch the situation. That doesn't mean you can't screw something up. And that doesn't mean that the quarterback can't be chief in the driver's seat of screwing that up. Let's think about this for a moment. Last month, what have we heard? We've heard nothing from Frank Reich about, everything is he's going to be back and everything's going to be great. And I'm paraphrasing here. But if you're Frank Reich right now, and if somebody, let's say over at Fox 59, my friend Chris Hagan put together a highlight reel of Frank Reich quotes from the last month, you think Frank's going to be proud of that? You want to know why Frank was doing that? You want to know why the Colts were doing that? It's because of Andrew Luck. Because that's what Andrew Luck wanted. And they wanted Andrew Luck to play. They wanted Andrew Luck to be happy. That's what they wanted. Therefore, they come off looking like a clown show. They come off, in the court of public opinion, have everybody around here believing that they have something up their sleeve. There's a motive behind it. We're trying to get your season ticket dollars. As if they didn't learn anything from 2 years ago. Now, we'll grant you this, and I don't think this is ever going to stop because Jim's just going to tell you whatever Jim wants to tell you, and then Chris and the others have a plan. So Chris and the others stick to the plan, and then Jim is like a damn bottle rocket at the 4th of July. Somebody lets off, and you have no idea where it's going. Now, I like it. I listen to it. I enjoy it. But it is not good for the entire organization. And in this case, making sure that Andrew was happy and you were doing what Andrew wanted to do made this organization, made this coaching staff look clownish. And makes them look like that they're trying to put one over on you. Makes them look like they're trying to lie to you. And it helps emphasize those theories that may exist from anybody that's, tweeting or emailing me right now or going to call me a little bit later on. And again, these are just my opinions. But I think they're fairly logical opinions. I mean, you cover for the quarterback, and then you cover for the quarterback, and you do what he wants, and then all of a sudden he pulls the damn plug 2 weeks before the start of the season. So you can be ultimately critical for that. If I'm a fan, I'd feel that way. If I'm a fan, I don't know how I'd feel. If I just spent $6-8 on season tickets and I'm wondering, what the hell just happened here? And I felt that they knew. But it's just hard to imagine, especially after 2 years ago, that you would have a group over there that's inept. And I have a lot of friends over there, too, and I know that they're not dumb. I know that they're not inept, and I know that they're not readily trying to put one over on you. People say, well, what are you going to say? You work for them, you do their pregame show. I don't have to. I don't need to. They asked me to do it. I can say no. You want me to say no? It would make you feel better if I said no. You know why they asked me to do it? They asked me to do it because if they knew I didn't do it, I would do a show on the other side of them, and I'd get more listeners than they got. That's why. But they asked me to do it, and I appreciate it. I don't care. I don't have any skin in this game. I'm just here to tell you, and you know this, that's why I don't have to come on here on a daily basis and shout at you about how I'm telling the truth, because I sit down here at 3 o'clock every day. That's exactly what you expect, and that's exactly what you get. Every day. So, you've got the quarterback that looks bad in the negative. You've got the team that responds in the negative, and you got the organization that looks bad. So, let's get to the fans before we hit a break here. As I said yesterday, I love you, fans. You know that. I mean, you spend your hard-earned money, your disposable income. I mean, even going to a preseason game, and these preseason games are just such a stinking joke, and I get it. You go to a game, you're sitting there. The organization, through Andrew, wanted to try to make this announcement at 3 o'clock on Sunday, right? They wanted to call a press conference, and Andrew Luck is going to retire. Your hope here is that you get through that game, and if Adam Schefter gets it in the middle of the night, then so be it. Andrew's gone, and he's out of there right now. But instead, this thing pops, and now there's your quarterback on the sideline, absolutely unknowing what everybody knows about him and his intentions to step away from the game. And then you get, it was just a handful of people, and I don't know how lubed. I'm assuming incredibly lubed. Right? Maybe numbnuts. I don't know. Drunken numbnuts. That's always a part of any game equation late in the game, no matter preseason or what. So I'm sure that plays a role. Drunken numbnuts always play a role. There's some Bears fans mixed in. To me, would I do it? No. But I'm just not booing guy. But I'm not going to tell you that you didn't have a right to feel that way, because I get it. It's raw emotion. You might be pissed at the time. I get it. Maybe you look on the sideline, and he's down there, and everybody's laughing and giggling, and you're going, what the hell's happening here? I get it, and that is why no way, shape, or form, when you have a story that is this monstrous, when you get that, you got to go as quickly as possible with it. You got to hold a press conference, try to get the family there as quickly as possible, because trying to get that thing through 48 hours is ridiculous. There is no way in this era of how easily information is from one place to the other across the globe, there is no way you can keep that secret. I know what 95% of you eat for lunch Monday through Friday. Nobody can keep a secret. I got to see it on Facebook. Yeah, I saw what you had for lunch today. I know. So you think this thing is going to be kept under wraps? The only way that it does is if it's Luck, it's Jim, and I'm still skeptical about that. If it's Luck, if it's Jim, if it's Chris, and if it's Frank. If it's the four heads of state right there, if they're the only ones that know, then okay. But man, if you just spread it a little bit more, that's rolling the dice, and then you get the clown show that was the other night, and that's exactly what it was. Then my guys are in the booth, and you can't say anything, and I was just cringing for Greg and Rick, and I was glad they weren't on camera. And that's what you get. But again, it's not altogether their fault. It's just a combination. And let's face it, this has been a combination of bad stuff 2 out of the last 3 years. So as an end result, that's what you get. And then today, I see you guys are all mad at the players. Jacoby Brissett saying that the booing sucked. Ryan Kelly responding to the booing. Hey, if you guys are going to get a pass, you booers out there, give these players a pass, because that was their quarterback. That was a teammate. That's somebody that they like. Of course they're going to disagree with the booing. Of course they're going to respond to a question. So I don't want to hear anybody, they don't have the right to talk, or why are these guys talking right now? They should be lucky we're still going to their games. Of course they're going to have that response. Just like I understand and somewhat justify why you, the fans, had your response at the end of the game Saturday night. Exactly. So you're up to date. That's that. We'll get more of my thoughts coming up in just a little bit. Yeah, not a lot since yesterday has really changed, but we'll get to that. Rick Venturi is going to rejoin us for the first time this year, coming up at 4:30. I simply can't wait. I've talked to so many people today about expectations without Andrew Luck, and I'll give you those, where I sit on that, and whether or not I believe that Andrew Luck is going to play football again. And I'm going to ride that at 50-50 right now. I mean, that's just me. But the owner kept that alive, and everybody is suggesting that maybe the Colts let Luck keep his $24.8 million just to make sure that he remains quiet on everything. So what, do you think that Andrew Luck's going to come out, find a microphone, and start squealing on everybody? I mean, have you guys paid attention since he's been here? No, you get to keep it because that is good faith. Hey, what if this dude wants to bounce back? And I know it sounds ridiculous, but I thought what took place Saturday sounded ridiculous until that crap happened. Get back to that and a lot more coming up. 239-1070. Email address is jmv@1070thefan.com. NHR tickets, Brickyard 400 ticket packs. I got two. BullseyeEventGroup.com. They're having the IU VIP tailgate thing going on down there before the IU Ball State game. I'm going to give away 2 passes an hour if you guys want to go eat, drink, and have fun before the IU Ball State game on us with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Michael Penix, by the way, is going to be the starting quarterback to start this season for the Hoosiers, as Tom Allen announced a little bit earlier today. All right, phone calls loaded. A lot of me, a lot of you until Rick Venturi joins us on a busy Monday. It's 93.5 and 107.5 FM, The Fan.
Hey, this is Dan Dockage for Steffi Hadaway Insurance. Did you know Steffi Hadaway sells life insurance? If you're like a lot of people and think you've waited too long or can't afford a life insurance policy, then you should talk to Mike Steffi and his team at Steffi Hadaway Insurance. They represent dozens of life insurance companies who can tailor a life insurance policy to meet your needs and fit your budget. Call Steffi Hadaway at 317-334-3743 today or shiagency.com.
Indiana Comic-Con is this weekend at Indianapolis's Indiana Convention Center. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 30th through September 1st. Featuring comic books, toys, costumes, Star Wars, Star Trek, Power Rangers, guest artists, writers, and celebrity guests. Check out Indiana Comic-Con this weekend, August 30th through September 1st in Indianapolis. Oh, and did I mention that kids 12 and under get in free? Visit IndianaComicCon.com for tickets and details.
I think about quitting every day, and every day I go buy more cigarettes. I want to quit, but I feel like I have to have it. I know that sounds bad.
When did tobacco take over your life?
I started smoking when I was 18. I'm now 36. I've been smoking half my life. Back then it was cool. I never thought I would get hooked. That's crazy.
What's stopping you from quitting?
The pressure and stress makes it hard to quit. Smoking relaxes me. I know smoking is bad for me. I want to quit. I need to quit. I know I will quit. Someday.
Why wait? Make someday today. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for professional help. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW. It's effective, confidential, and it's free. 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Summer's in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor George did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our house is a Victorian-style house. I'm not much of a painter, so I was happy that I would get a product that would last as long as Rhino Shield would.
Remember, with Rhino Shield, it's not paint, it's better.
Again, I mentioned it was an old house and all that, so they did a wonderful job making sure that everything was done to the way we wanted it handled.
Now get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right here in Central Indiana for 10% off the regular price.
Yeah, Rhino Shield on the house for 2.5 years. It looks great. It looks just like the day that they applied the finish to the house.
Here's owner Jim Williams.
This offer's limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint. Don't
owns vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Do you have Medicare and Indiana Medicaid? With Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, you could be getting so much more. Anthem may provide up to $2,000 towards dental, $0 copays on many prescriptions, and up to $1,320 for over-the-counter healthcare items. Get more out of your Medicare and Medicaid coverage. Switch today. Call 866-649-8826. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is an HMO special needs plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield depends on contract renewal.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom.
For car repair done by professional mechanics who are trained, trusted, and top of the line, go to the place Indy trusts. CarX, the best in brakes. Right now, new brake pads with a 1-year warranty are just $89 per axle on most vehicles. And that includes installation. Or only $109 per axle with a lifetime warranty. So remember, when you need brakes,
don't worry, call the CarX man.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from the Bill Estes Ford family. Summer's coming to a close, and it's your last chance to upgrade to a newer, fresher car at our certified pre-owned headquarters in Brownsburg.
Tell them about the inventory.
I know, Brian, calm down. We have executive cars, repos, and a huge inventory of late-model certified pre-owned vehicles. And these certified pre-owned vehicles are available at just 1.9% financing for 60 months.
Right now, you can also get $2,000 more for your trade-in. Right now.
Brian, you have to relax.
I can't, Rob, because right now is the Hurry and Save event at Ford, with 20% off all new vehicles as well.
Wait, new Fords are 20% off?
Yes, right now. Escapes is $16,995, Fusions for $17,995, and 27% off F-150s. But these deals end Labor Day, so you gotta come right now.
But when should they come, Brian?
I don't have time for you to tease me. I gotta go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hurry up and save at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg at the hottest corner in Hendricks County. Right now!
I heard that.
You still haven't gotten that exterior painting job done yet, have you? Well, don't worry. You still have time thanks to your neighborhood CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. And just like at my house, you will love the results. CertaPro Painters of Indianapolis is extending their 20th anniversary special of a free interior wall paint upgrade for any project completed by September 1st. Give CertaPro Painters a call to get on the schedule before the outdoor painting season comes to an end at 800-GO-CERTA or go to CertaPro.com. And remember, Certa is spelled with a C. CertaPro Painters. We do painting, you do life.
Starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct, get 5 years zero-interest financing on any purchase with nothing down. It starts this Saturday at Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing.
It happened. The only way I see out is to no longer play football. We take you inside the story.
Kevin Bowen.
You can lay blame in a multitude of areas.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Could he have gone away from the team, gone on injured reserve, gone on the inactive list and gotten away?
For the very latest in breaking news, opinion, and information, keep it tuned to 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan or check in at 1075thefan.com. Your home for Indy sports.
The Ride with JMV.
Oh, wait just a minute. Did anybody knock anymore?
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It just, that word paradox kind of helps me, can help us make sense of what's going on. On one hand, we can respect and honor the player and the teammate that Andrew is and was. But at the same time, we can share an excitement and an enthusiasm about the team that we have going forward and the journey ahead of us.
It's Frank from later. Is that earlier today from Frank? Yeah. Preparing for that final preseason game, I guess, and getting Jacoby Brissett, your starting quarterback, ready to roll. JMV, did luck just make us forget about Paul George? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I brought that up yesterday too. I brought up more the comparison of Ron Artest. And not because Luck wanted to go manage some R&B group full of chicks, but just kind of done right now. I mean, Ron wanted to be done for different reasons, but he just wanted to be done right then. You know, and everybody backed him up. The Pacers backed him up, remember? I mean, Larry Bird and everybody always backed him up. And you're the ones kind of holding the bag on this thing. Oh, hell, great. Thanks. I don't know if you caught this. Jermaine O'Neal, when he was in town back in June with the Big Three, had brought this up, and he still had issues until most recently with what Ron Artest did. And I think that's just kind of the reality of it. I think that depending upon how this season goes and where they might be or where they could have been with their quarterback and how this team plays, I mean, you may end up getting some hard feelings. And Andrew himself probably is going to look back on this and think, man, right then and right there, what am I doing? I think that's just natural. But, more than Paul George, I kind of compared it to Ron Artest. Everybody cringed yesterday when I said it, and, I get it. But if you think about it a little bit and don't try to just say one is exactly the other, I think you can make a couple of parallels if you wanted to. Just a thought. Steve in San Antonio says, you hear anything about Luck retiring because he wanted to go to Hawaii for 3 months to rehab and the Colts said no? Well, yeah, only because I brought it up yesterday. I guess. Only because I said it yesterday, maybe. As it came out of my pie hole, so I do vaguely remember it. It was one of these, this is what I heard stories. Yes, I do remember it. Thank you, Steve in San Antonio. I love you. JMV, saying the Colts shouldn't leave a door open for Luck. He already showed he isn't trustworthy. Listen, do I expect it? No. Am I going to rule it out? No. You want to know why? Because I no longer rule anything out. After what took place on Saturday, you would probably be okay with that too. This from Cove. Why do so many people praise Adam Schefter for being so great at his job and all he did was fire off a tweet with info that was given to him? Well, that's kind of his job, right? I mean, essentially, that's what, Aaron Judge is supposed to hit home runs. That's what Adam Schefter's supposed to do. Aaron Judge hits home runs. He gets paid well. He gets all types of praise. Adam Schefter, that's an Adam Schefter home run. I don't like the guy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, hell, he got me blackballed for a damn year during the Super Bowl, nonetheless. And then ripped me up and down to Chris Hagan on his way to Fox 59 2 years later. I don't like him. Act like a jackass on the show before? Hell no, I don't like him. But I respect the job that he does. I'm not going to be butthurt because the guy is probably, along with Adrian Wojnarowski, the best in the information-getting business. So that's just the facts. JMV, so was a leak, was Luck since he was discussing with the players? That is my assumption. And I've been told this a couple of different times, and I'm sure there's somebody listening that knows, but I heard it a couple of different times that it came from the sideline. It just came up the chain. And I mean, listen, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to hide stuff like this in this era of information. None, zero. None. Kurt writes this, did you find it strange that even though the press conference was scheduled for Sunday, Andrew seemed to have his written statement with him Saturday night? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he had it in his locker. See, I mean, we got to keep this between the lines a little bit, all right? I mean, not everything. Granted, I'm sure not everything is as it seems, and I'm probably going to be wrong about something, but everything is not some Martian from outer space conspiracy theory, the late Art Bell midnight to 6 show. Everything's not that either. So let's go in between here. I don't know. I mean, maybe he had the thing in his locker. Maybe it was in his pocket, folded up in his wallet. Hell, I don't know. Let's do some calls. 239-1070. Give me Brian. Hello, Brian on line 2. Go ahead.
What's going on, JMV? It's Be Near in Greenwood.
Be Near. How are you?
I'm driving to Destin, Florida, and I'm getting rained on like nobody's business right now. But
we're getting rained on. We're getting rained on here too. And listen, I've got a little discussion about my garage I got to get with you sometime. So remind me of that, okay? Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, I'll be back on Tuesday.
Gotcha.
But hey, so I want to make 3 quick points, and then I'll tune back in on my streaming tune-in radio app. Number one, in any other line of business, my business, your business, this would be fraud. I mean, point blank. I feel as a fan, I feel as the community that we've been defrauded. Secondly, if you're Paris Campbell, if you're Clayton Gathers, and you've been busting your a-hole in the rehab room, I mean, how do you think those guys are feeling about what used to be their teammate?
I don't know. You'll have to ask him when they're 30. You know, I mean, I guess ask him when they missed a season with a shoulder. Hey, listen, I've been critical of him enough, but I mean, Paris Campbell hasn't even gone through puberty yet, so ask him then, okay? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily ask that question now. I will tell you this about the fraud thing. I mean, you buy tickets, things happen. You honestly think that they sit down in a room devising ways in which they can defraud the fan base here? That you're not really thinking that, are you?
No, I mean, I don't think that anybody sat down in a room, but I don't think that this was a 48-hour snap decision, though, either. I think this has been discussed for a lot longer than the last.
No. I would agree with you, but I don't think that I don't think that constitutes fraud, though, B. I don't.
All right.
I mean,
I don't know, but I mean,
we probably should have had coffee to discuss this. You know.
It's aggravating. I wouldn't have been one of the ones that booed, but I certainly understand the folks that did.
B, you're right. It's aggravating, and you have every reason as a Colts fan or a paying customer to be aggravated 2 out of the last 3 years. I do agree with that. It is aggravating. That is the best way you can put it. No question.
Right on.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You too. Be careful going to Destin. JMV, this is the gray area in life. Things just happen. Luck is a human with emotions, let alone dealing with daily pain. And I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, maybe I'm too close. Maybe I want to believe. I find it hard to believe that everybody in the world can be on the same page with this. I mean, there's nobody out there that keep a damn secret. Nobody. You think if anything was like going that behind the scenes, you're going to keep that secret? I mean, hell, they couldn't keep Andrew Luck retiring secret. Nobody that can keep a secret. That is just a thought. I mean, listen, maybe one of these days Paris Campbell feels like that. Paris Campbell in the rehab room working his ass off, but Luck has been there and done that. And again, the criticism handed out here is not the decision to want to have, a life without pain or to live comfortably or the quality of life. It is the timing. And what in the hell are you doing waiting till the last possible minute to do this? Why? I'd agree with B, too. I mean, listen, I don't know this to be certain, but very well. And listen, before you guys all buy into Mike Florio stuff, just keep in mind that Florio will bash Jim Irsay whenever Mike Florio wants to ride anything. Every single time. Every one. There's an axe to grind there. Like, I sit here, I don't have an axe to grind. The dude's always had an axe to grind for whatever reason. I don't know. But maybe it turns out to be accurate. I mean, maybe in passing, maybe, you know what? I think I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this calf. There's another injury. I think I'm just going to retire. I don't know. Logical. Plausible. Absolutely. Do I think that they were trying to cover something up in hopes that ultimately he would change his mind during camp and be back? No. I just think that he came to an end, and this is how he felt it was going to end. I'm going to do it right now. It's my thought. We'll get back to that in a second. Pat, Skyler, John, we'll do that. Andrew Luck is retired. If you do not know that, I don't know where you've been, because that's all we've been talking about. It is the return of Rick Venturi at 4:30 today. I've got some NHRA tickets. That is this weekend, too. The U.S. Nationals, the Super Bowl of NHRA. So I'm over at St. Joseph Brewery on Wednesday with Kevin Bowen. Beers for Bowen with me. So I'll be ready for that over there for you, too. I'm trying to track down Reggie Wayne. I think Reggie Wayne would be absolutely perfect right now. Perfect. Perfect. Now, we're trying. JMV, you've said numbnuts and bird hurt in the last 10 years. How is this allowed on the air? I don't know, because I just say it, I guess. What do you want me to do? I mean, what? Butthurt is Constantly being sad about something. Numbnuts is being an idiot. I don't know. You want me to change it up for you? Poopy pants. I'll go with poopy pants from now on. Way that it is, man. Way that it is. Quick one, your phone calls and reactions and stuff to win, including bullseyeeventgroup.com. It is the IU tailgate going on before the Ball State game. How about this? We'll give away a pair of tickets right now. You want to? Pair of tickets, 239-1070 right now. We got 2 pair an hour we're going to give away with bullseyeeventgroup.com. My poopy pants and I. Back next.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Hey, John, for Forum Credit Union. Hey, let's get something going here with Forum Credit Union, shall we? Kevin has got it going for you. If you're ready right now, here it is. Forum Credit Union, always with the great deals to try to help you save money on a daily basis and always coming up with those great ideas. Well, Forum Credit Union, my friend Kevin and the gang over there have something brand new for you. If you're buying a home, this can be overwhelming. I think we all understand that, right? My friends at Forum Credit Union can make it easy and are presenting a free home buyer spotlight session to help you get it started. Now, whether you're building or buying, you won't want to miss it. So sign up today, forumcu.com, or visit any Forum location for details. This should be spectacular and will help you out a great deal. Tell Kevin at a branch location that I sent you, or for more info online, that's forumcu.com today.
I'll talk to Dad and we'll help you figure something out. Okay, bye.
Talk to me about what?
Nick has a fever. Can you believe his insurance won't even cover a basic doctor visit?
Oh, all right. Well, we'll help him out this time, but he's got to get some better benefits. This job isn't cutting it.
Susan's son just started as a union electrician apprentice.
Huh. You know, I play golf with a couple of union guys. They say it's great. One of them's even about to retire early.
I'm calling Nick back. He's got to hear this.
This is Steve Mincer, business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 481. Being a union electrician is rewarding. Our members earn good pay, full health care, and benefits that allow many to retire before the age of 60. Plus, our hands-on craftsmen get to see what they accomplish daily, something not always visible with a desk job. So if this sort of career sounds like a fit for a young person you know, someone reliable with a good attitude, learn more at ibew481.org.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Located out in Danville and serving Hendricks and surrounding counties, owner Danny Reinhardt says this truly is a family business.
My 3 children, Kevin, Corey, and Kim, they all work for me. I have another gentleman that's been with me since I started, Stumpy, and he still works for me. And then Brian come to work for us in 2006, and so we really, truly are a family business.
Give Reinhardt a call at 745-4526. Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Hi, Marty Smith here, and my friends at Marathon are really helping you save. Because right now you get 5 cents off every gallon every day with Make It Count rewards from Marathon. Plus, you can earn points for additional savings on fuel, airfare, hotels, and more. It's quick and easy to join. Just visit makeitcount.com/radio or download the free app. So start saving today with Make It Count from Marathon. Offer valid only at participating Marathon locations. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Hey, John for PAI, it's WeGrowHairAndy.com. If you want your real growing hair again, there's a way with PAI. Darren Andrews for the private consultation and what you need to know about getting your real growing hair back again. It's PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com today.
Hey, this is Kirk Herbstreit. This quarterback really knows how to run this team, which is why we mic'd him up before the game. Let's listen in on how he got him ready on that last play.
Blue 49.
Blue, 49. Eckridge. Carolina double. Grill. Ham off the bone. Home gate. Hot. Eckridge deli meat sandwich. Hot! Now that is a quarterback that knows how to handle a home gate. Eckridge, you do you.
I can't believe what Diamonds Direct is doing starting this Saturday. For a limited time on any purchase, you can get 5 years zero interest financing with nothing down. You heard that right. Buy now, get the guaranteed best price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 5 years without a dime in interest. So a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $50 a month, and everything's included from engagement rings to all designer jewelry. The best offer ever, starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit, details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
College football in Indy starts August 31st when Ball State takes on IU in the Ruoff Kickoff Classic at Lucas Oil Stadium. Call 888-BSU-TICKET.
Andrew Luck retires from the NFL. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan will have complete coverage all week. Where do the Colts go from here? 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Smokey, this is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It's been, that and a roller coaster of emotion. And the main thing is just, not being able to see Andrew every day. And that's, today was kind of weird walking in and not seeing him. But, that's the thing to deal with. Ups and downs. It's on the way up now. So that's all that matters.
I'm John. Thank you for joining us. This is Jacoby Brissett from today. Yeah, seriously, I guess I've never really thought about it that way. I don't, like, if a guy says, hey, how you doing, John? My name is Dick, I don't actually think that he's it's just it. I guess. JMV, I got to move forward and not look back. I believe Kelly is as talented if his head on straight as you move on with poopy pants and a prophet of doom and gloom, and the Colts will be fine and you will still be talking poopy pants. No idea what that means, but by God, I read it right here. Hey, JMV, I was down at the Four Winds for a 50th birthday party, and we were hanging out on the back patio area listening to a not-so-good band. It was incredible to see all the phones light up at once regarding the Luck news. It did. It was an amazing weekend. Just when you think you've seen it all, you realize that you haven't. Hey, JMV, sorry about the question that's already been answered, but why did the fans boo Luck when he was leaving the playing field Sunday? Tony, I don't know why that group did. And I just got somebody, I'm offended. And why do you think everybody's lubed up and drunk? Well, I don't know. At the end of a preseason game, there's 5 people there. You've just had 8 $14 beers. Maybe I think you're lubed up and drunk. I don't know. I'm sorry if I offended you that may have not been lubed up and drunk but booed on Saturday because it was raw emotion, and I get it. It's raw emotion, and I get it. Just like the response that you got from the players regarding the question, and some of you are, I think his name is Anthony, right? Some of you are rear end sore. You have some rear end soreness about this right now. Par for the course, right? Former teammate. They like him a great deal. His center, his friend, the backup. What do you think they're going to say? And they have every right to say it. Doesn't mean they think you suck or they don't like the fan base here. That's exactly what they're going to say. I'll give them a pass just like I gave you a pass. Skyler, line 3. Give it a go, brother. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
Time, long time.
Great to hear from you.
Hey, I got one point real quick right off the bat. I'm not hearing Ryan Gritchen's name enough, and I think we need to be talking about him because he was in charge of the regime that ultimately led to this.
Yeah. Yes. He's got. I mean, his effect of never building an offensive line. Yes, it is here. It plays.
You got the fans doing Luck, which you got guys like Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt still rolling around in the league. How many of those guys are going to get drafted this weekend during fantasy drafts?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at the fans. Obviously, it's one of those disappointed things.
And I've said this before. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'll let you finish here. I've said this before. Not only was it a combination of Ryan Grigson swinging and missing on so many components to an offensive line, but I never, over these years, whether it was Chud or anybody else, never really understood the offense. And I thought it all started with Bruce Arians. I mean, Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit philosophy was great. Remember, there was a point in time when I told you guys that while we call extending the play his signature and great, and that is basically extending the play, and that's what makes him tough, and that's awesome. I told you there was going to be a shelf life on that, and as it turned out, it was. So the offensive scheming, a deep drop and wide receivers running 35 yards down the field, and everybody always said, well, he's holding on to the ball too long because he didn't have anybody to throw it to because their routes were not done yet. All right, because the offense was faulty. And then the final prong to this is Andrew Luck. Everybody always admired him for extending the play, always admired his toughness and running and taking that hit. He was reckless, and there is a great deal of fault in being reckless that ultimately in the NFL you have to pay for, and he did.
Yeah, well, and to piggyback off your point right there, the lasting memory that I will always remember of Andrew Luck, I forget the game, but it was the fumble. We were on the 1 yard line or whatever it was, and he has the wherewithal to pick that ball up, a loose ball, and just go straight in the end zone because that's all he knew to do. That was Andrew Luck in a football player right there. But I don't want to hold your line up. One more point I wanted to make was I called last week and I asked you, do you think that they knew back in the draft when they didn't deal with Jacoby? And you said they didn't get the value that they were asking for Jacoby.
Right.
Do you want to revise?
I don't.
Anything?
I
Okay.
don't.
All right.
No, I don't. It's just like this, too. People have asked me, do you think that they didn't spend all the money they had in free agency? Did Chris Ballard not do that because you knew that he was going to be without Andrew Luck? And no, that's the way he does things. And to me, I don't think that Jacoby had the value that, again, anybody was looking for. I just don't think there's a big conspiracy theory in that. Maybe I'm proven wrong, and we'll find out down the road, but I'd find that hard to believe.
All right, man. Love the show.
Skyler, you call anytime. Thank you. If you're on hold, I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to give away more tickets, passes to the Bullseye Event Center for the IU tailgate before the IU Ball State game, and Rick Venturi's return at 4:30. Back with you next.
It happened.
The only way I see out is to no longer play football.
And you didn't hold back.
Hey, I'm pissed. This is the Keystone Cops taken to a next level. Why does Andrew Luck owe anyone anything?
Problem is in between his ears.
Didn't want to play football no more. Big freaking deal.
They wasted his time here. Andrew Luck is not loyal. He's soft as tissue paper.
Everybody should just shut up and get on with their lives.
If you're talking about it, we're talking about it. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Stan Dockage for Family Leisure. It's the Grill and Outdoor Living Sale happening right now. Great buys on umbrellas, gazebos, pergolas, and pavilions. The Grill and Outdoor Living Sale has barbecue islands that are priced to move. Buy from in-stock or design your own. Up to 60% off in-stock patio and spas from $19.99. The Grill and Outdoor Living Sale going on right now at Family Leisure. Go to familyleisure.com.
Hey, it's Tony Kanan. I'm here with my friend Chuck Jones from BUSS Chevy. Chuck, what's hot this month?
Hey, TK. This month we're clearing the lot with our back-to-school sale. We have up to 20% off all new Chevys.
Up to 20% off all new Chevys? You gotta be kidding me.
Nope. And there's no payments until Thanksgiving. You heard me right. No payments until Thanksgiving.
I better find your roads to BUSS Chevy or online at BUSSChevy.com. Just ask for the CJ deal.
Very funny, TK. Everybody knows it's the TK deal.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Summer is coming to an end, and if you're like most folks, you're looking at your credit card statements wondering how the balances got so high. Vacations, school supplies, car repairs, home remodel projects. What if I told you the solution to all your problems was 5 minutes away? There's never been a better time to do a cash-out refinance. Pay off all your high-interest rate credit cards today and apply online now at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, let's get this thing a go here. Who wants their real growing hair again? Anybody out there going bald? And there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm not making fun of you. But if some of you are, I don't know, sore in the tail over going bald, I've been there and done that. I went to PAI. Darren Andrews explained to me multi-unit hair grafting, artist robotic FUE, and some procedure called PRP. It's like a milkshake with your blood and some pig bladders. Yeah, seriously, it is. Have him explain it to you because I'm not smart enough to do so, but it can help regain your hair growth. PAI. Let Darren Andrews tell you all about it. My man Rick DeMolling's going through it right now, too. It's working. If you want your real growing hair again, I'm just here to tell you there are options with PAI. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com right now.
It takes courage to talk with that someone special when there are problems in the bedroom. Erectile dysfunction, or PE, can shatter your confidence and make your relationship challenging. You can put an end to these issues. Have the courage to make just one confidential visit to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic and get that spark back in your relationship. The doctors at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic offer the latest solutions for all ED and PE issues, and you'll see results in your first visit, or there's no charge. Call 999-9000 to meet with their licensed providers, no matter your age or your conditions. Diabetes, high blood pressure, prostate cancer, low testosterone causing your issue. It doesn't matter. They can help. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000 or online at indymensclinic.com. Have the courage to take that first step. Indianapolis Men's Clinic, your key to a better life.
John, for the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina, the JMV deal is ongoing right now, too. Tony said, keep this bad boy up there through September and make sure people can get a staycation, late summer, early fall style, down at Lake Monroe. Here it is, $199. Sunday through Thursday, it's 3 nights in a garden double, upgraded to $99 more. You get a lakeside view, mini golf, indoor-outdoor pool, the Windjammer Bar and Grill. It's spectacular. You know how great this weekend is going to be, too? That's at Lake Monroe. Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. Call Tony now. Get that deal done. 812-824-BOAT, 812-824-2628, or online, fourwindslakeside.com today.
Are you ready to roll for Big Machine Vodka 400 weekend at the Brickyard? Are you ready for the grit, the glory, the grandeur, for 25 years of tradition and 1 yard of bricks? Ready for country music's biggest stars and one last shot at the NASCAR playoffs? It's Big Machine Vodka 400 weekend at the Brickyard, September 4th through 8th. The stage is set for the stars of NASCAR. Tickets at IMS.com.
Starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct, get 5 years zero-interest financing on any purchase with nothing down. It starts this Saturday at Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing.
This is Indy Sports Center.
WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Go trackside with Kurt Cavan and Kevin Lee. Tomorrow night at 7 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Give me that phone. Now you listen to me, mister. God did not put me on this earth to be awakened by filthy suggestions from a foul-mouthed hooligan like you.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Thank you for joining us. We're on YouTube right now. You can see my face. Yeah, I'm changing up my limited vocabulary for Jason here, who's offended. Hey, I'm sorry. I know about 5 words. Give me a break, all right? I mean, I went to Easton Green. I went to Indiana State, had a few minutes of Vincennes. I literally know 5 words, and I don't read. I think reading sucks, so get off me. I know like 3 words, and they're all like 3 letters long. JMV, this from Darwin. Did Luck find out on the sideline that it had leaked? Side note, walking off the field, it looked like he said that they are booing me, smiled, then was straight-faced the rest of the way off the field. Second part, I don't know when, I think somebody came over and told him, I think he was messing around, I don't know. It looked like somebody had told him from the media staff that, hey, they know, let's go. So that's it. JMV, all us Colts fans sitting around trying to figure out why our girlfriend left us. At least that's what we sound like. No, some of you, I think, are just flat nuts. But, I mean, it's okay. Listen, I understand the reaction. I mean, it is your average fan sports talk show reaction. That's okay. That is okay. I do get it. But again, I'm going to give you both sides, and I'm just not going to buy into something that stirs it up because I just want to half-ass my job or something. I'm going to tell you what I believe is exactly going on, and I'm going to talk to people about it and then kind of bring you, hopefully, a knowledgeable show where I use words, 5 words, all over that are 3 letters in length. I try to cover up my lack of smarts real good just for you. Josh Riggin writes this, are people really going to blame Grigson for this? Hey, listen, Grigson was a part of the issue. I mean, I'm not looking at it now. I've moved on since that point in time, but, I mean, he was a part of the issue. He and Pagano's relationship was part of the issue. I mean, they had to get a damn consultation firm in here to figure out that the Grigger was part of the problem at the time. So, yeah. But so was Andrew. I mean, Andrew was a part of it. But we celebrated that back then. We celebrated the extension of the play. It was tough. It was gritty. It was gutty. He had balls. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 letters right there. And as I told you even back then, I remember flying on my way from Seattle back home after an Alaskan cruise, and I read how many times he had been hit in like the first 3 years, first 2 years, something like that. I can't remember. First 3, I think. And I read that. And I remember all we ever talked about all time was, the extension of the play with him and how that was great. And you knew that he's going to have to pay for it. And he did pay for it. But no, I mean, it was the lack of ever coming up with an offensive line. It was the offensive philosophy, which always would astound me how stupid it looked when you can kind of see the problem right there in your face. And it was Andrew. I mean, Andrew recklessly running around and, getting bent back like a damn folding chair by a linebacker. Nathan Ranks with this. I'm not here to talk about players who aren't here. We're moving on to San Diego. Go Jacoby. Well, you better move on further up the California coast there. If you go to San Diego, they're not going to be there. But I get what you're saying. I do. All right, let's do some calls here. I owe you. Robert on Luck at 239-1070. Robert, go.
Hey, good morning, or good afternoon, I guess. Morning, afternoon. It's all blurring into one another, right?
Sure thing.
Yeah, first-time caller into your show. I was listening this morning, and I've been listening to coverage all day, and I thought about this. I'm an average fan, and, I don't maybe have the disposable income to go to a game, and I heard a call this morning was talking about the lady who called in. She said, well, I've spent $6,000-$8,000 on tickets. I get it. She spent for a product. She wants to see the product. It's like going to a concert. You want to see the headliner. You don't want to maybe necessarily see if Jason Aldean didn't show up Friday to play, somebody else was there. People would still go, but there wouldn't be a lot of them. So I understand both sides. People trying to say, somebody who might have more money or whatever. But I think the point that I want to make is that if you're an average fan right now, if you're a guy that maybe can't afford to go to a game all the time or maybe could do it maybe once a year, you've got a great opportunity right now. I haven't gotten online this morning. I'm sure that you could probably go and get a ticket right now and afford to go because there's more players on the field. There's good talent. And if you're a fan of football, yes, you love your quarterback. You want to have your quarterback. He's the guy that a lot of people are going to pay. He's the star of the show. But there are other players out there that, can play and are making a contribution. So I think to say, you're not going to go because that does a disservice to the other 52 guys that are on the roster. Yeah. If you're an average guy right now, I say, you know what? Go and enjoy the game. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
And I tell you what, Robert, I just let everybody make their own decision. I mean, if you don't want to go, don't go. If you can sell your tickets, sell your tickets. If you're never going to go again, don't go again. Yeah, frankly, I don't give a crap. So do whatever you need to do. That's
exactly.
it.
And that's just it. That's just it. So, and that's kind of the way things are right now in the world. People are wanting to pit people against people. Rich, poor, whatever. We're all people. We're all fans. We're all in the same vote together. It's just how you want to
do what you need to do, Robert, my man. You call in anytime. Thank you very much. Do what you need to do. I find it really hard to believe that Andrew Luck, that Chris Ballard, that Frank Reich, and Jim Irsay conspired to sell tickets here. Getting in a room and going to conspire to sell tickets. And then in the process, right, with all that has gone down, create just this epic, what's the one thing that nobody ever wants within their organization, which clearly now we've seen around here for the 2 out of the last 3 years. What is it? All right? Distractions, what do they always say? No distractions in here. And then create even more of a massive distraction, or a massive distraction in this case. Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying it here. I don't know I'm buying it. Now, handled wrong, botched, screwed up, sure. And that's what happens again. And this is where I lay more blame at the feet of Andrew Luck. I mean, they were all doing what Andrew Luck wanted him to do. He was the Pied Piper here. You know, they were just reacting. You think Frank Reich wants to go back, as I mentioned last hour, and listen to the sound bites over the course of the last month and what he had to say? And they were responding. They were reacting to what Andrew Luck wanted. And now you're kind of left holding the bag. I mean, that's really court of public opinion, what you have to deal with. That's why you get a lot of this right now. And some of it I understand. I do. I mean, some of the outrageous stuff I don't. But I certainly understand why some of you are pissed right now. And you're lashing out. I think that's just common. Hey, JMV, why is there a belief that Luck was hit more than other quarterbacks? The actual statistics don't back it up. I don't know. I don't know what the statistics back up. Does it back up when he goes down the field and gets tackled too? I mean, I don't know. It just looked like he did. I mean, maybe he's made of glass. You might be right. You might be right. I have not looked up these statistics. I just know that I looked up the first 3 years, and the amount of hits overall that he took was mammoth, and I just knew, as I told you back then, that there was going to be a shelf life for this. And it was celebrated. I mean, it really was. I mean, the reckless nature of his play, you know, especially out of the pocket, and the extension of the play that we all talked about, that was like a signature for him. It was like, this guy's got a nice arm, he's accurate, he's got a great head on his shoulders, he can move, he's athletic, and, oh yeah, he really extends the play. And that did become an issue. But no, Greg, honestly, you might be completely right about that. Might be. Hey, JMV, I know fans are frustrated and I don't understand everything that went into Luck's decision, but if the Colts jump out at 5-1 or 6-0, these bad feelings towards Luck will go away. There's no doubt winning cures all. Thanks. I appreciate you sending me stuff that's accurate too, man. Thanks. More than you know, brother. More than you know. JMV, I think the booing took place in part because Schefter's tweet made it seem like he was now checking out. Negative connotation. Social media report of retirement was not addressed in front of fans by Team Luck when it broke. Distrust from 2017. I'll start at the bottom. Certainly distrust from 2017. The fact that you just can't sit on something like that. I mean, you're just not going to. To me, and listen, I'm not in it, and I'm not a communications specialist or a media specialist or anything. When you learn this, that it's evident that it's going to take place, or that his retirement is imminent, you better get that thing in motion. Wheels in motion need to be going. So I don't think that you handle that accurately, trying to wait and hope that nobody picks this thing up, in 48 hours or so. So, I mean, it all starts right there. I get it, though. I get it. I don't know if it had anything to do with Luck was checked out and done or what. But, yeah, I wasn't hard on fans here yesterday for that. I do understand it. I just like I understand the players backing him up there today, too. That is what you're going to get. Hey, JMV, what are your thoughts on giving him $24 million? I find that extremely sketchy. Here's my thoughts. As opposed to believing that is hush money to make sure he doesn't talk and squeal on this elaborate scheme to get over on everybody around here, I think it's just, you know what, maybe this guy's going to come back. And the only reason why I believe that, without any other intel other than what Jim Irsay said Saturday, and Chris looked at him funny, and Jim mentioned Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods, and there's some hope there that he is going to come back, that all of a sudden his fires get stoked. And that's why this thing is not ever going to go away, not at least until he's absolutely positively done, because we're going to revisit this. I mean, it's, I don't know, like an STD. And believe me, I'm over it. I'm completely over it, but it is not done. I don't know anything about STDs either. That popped up in my head. I would know nothing about those. All right, who's next here? Hey, John on line 5, give it a go.
Hey, JMV, what's up, buddy?
What's happening, man?
Let me do you a favor, numbnuts. So, this whole thing with the organization and the tinfoil hat wearing crowd, I don't care what Jim Irsay does. The bottom line is you go to movies, you buy a ticket, you go in, you watch the movie, you sit in your seat. The movie's not as good as you hoped it would be. You don't get your money back. You bought a seat, go watch the entertainment. That's what it is. And, a lot of this is about keeping things in perspective. This is entertainment. People losing their minds and saying a bunch of mean-spirited things that just shows your ignorance. But really, I mean, to me, when I saw this on my phone, I felt sucker punched, like, my buddy had let me down, It all comes back to Andrew Luck. He made a decision, whether you view it as selfish or not. I personally do. My big question is, 2 questions. If I'm in that locker room, because I was in the military, I played organized team sports, and I work in a team atmosphere in the construction trades. If a guy bails on you, I don't want him back. I don't trust him. You've lost trust. So my question on the back end of that is, if Andrew Luck wanted to come back, would you want him? I wouldn't. And if I was in the locker room, I wouldn't want him as a teammate.
Listen, I probably erred in judgment, honestly, John, to even bring that up. Because, there is nothing that, to me right now, would suggest he's ever going to come back. I probably shouldn't have brought that up. I think I completely get what you're saying. For the sake of never having to talk about this again, I'm right there with you. I mean, seriously, for never having to talk about this again, the part of me believes that it's never going to be over, at least for the next couple of years, not going to be over. And I think a lot of it depends on how this team looks and where they are. Can I give you a great example while you're holding on there, John? Is that okay?
Yeah,
I think a lot of people have asked me this. So, what do you expect them to do quarterback-wise? I expect them to ride on Jacoby Brissett. Now, what happens if they get midway through the season and they're still really good, but the major malfunction is Brissett? Might they go out and try to get somebody that is equal to or greater than with some of the assets they have? If they believe that might be the difference between, winning more games, higher playoff seed, possibility of doing stuff that people don't think they can do right now, yeah, I would believe that might be a possibility, but it just depends on how they play, how they're doing, what the need might be. So I think this falls in line with what you're talking about here. I think people, if they felt the need that is there, and that might be a difference between greatness and where they might be at that time, I think people would welcome him back.
Yeah, people are fickle and easy to forgive. I'm a bit more old school in that. You got to prove it to me.
Yeah, I messed it up. I shouldn't even brought it up, to be honest with you. So that was my error in judgment.
Anyways, because I'll be honest with you, I was thinking about that 10 minutes after I read it. Because to be honest with you, it seems an awful spur of the moment decision, and you never make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. He's proven that he doesn't think things out. He doesn't look at the long-term consequences just by his behavior, by taking all those hits, extending plays. Now he's doing this. It's very likely that in the future, he's going to miss the football, the excitement, the game's on the line. He's making the last-minute throw. He's going to miss that. And, when I was in the military, perfect example. When I was in Afghanistan, I hated it. It sucked. It was horrible. Now, I'm 7 years removed from that. I miss the guys. I miss the camaraderie. I miss being with those people. So there is a yearning to be back in that.
And I think that there, at least from the owner, is a level of hope that maybe something like you felt right there with that in mind, that competitive fire gets stoked again in Luck, because he mentioned it the other night, and I'm sure it's a pipe dream. He mentioned it the other night, and I think that had more to do with not trying to recoup $24.8 million than it did trying to cover something up or hope that he didn't ever talk about what went down. So that's kind of my view, one or the other.
Well, I think people got too much time on their hands trying to drum up conspiracy theories and everything. The truth's always somewhere in the middle anyway.
Sure.
But
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
The question I would really ask is, if Andrew Luck's going to come, if he were, or per se, we wanted to trade his rights, would there be a market for that? And what could you potentially give?
I don't know. I don't listen. And thank you for the call. I don't really know how that works. The only thing I know right now about where the Colts stand, I need a NFL capologist and rule regulator for what you just asked. I just know that if he were to come back this year and play, that he would have to go through waivers, and he wouldn't make it through waivers. Now, this is how it was explained to me. And that the Colts own his rights for 3 years. See, that's a good one for Greg out there if you're listening. That's the one. I don't know about – I'm assuming that if they wanted to, they could, but I don't know that for sure. I just know the waiver rules on a player that's been put on the retirement list, and I just know how long the rights of the team is. Because we visited this with McAfee and that short flirtation with the Bears, if you remember. And I think Chris was actually up there with McAfee, and they were talking about that. And Chris had said, we still own your rights, so they would have to come to us, and something would have to be done. Anyway, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Back to the top, line 1, and Pat's going to give it a go. Hello, Pat. How are you?
I'm fine, JMV. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I would like to remind you, remember about 10 days ago, Jim Irsay said, well, Luck has an extra bone. May I tell you about my daughter's extra bone? She is a very active lady, and she had pain in her foot. And she knew if she wanted to continue to be active, she had a choice. She had to have surgery. She had surgery July 17th. She came here last week. There's a cast up to her knee. She goes around on one of those scooters.
Yeah, and she's okay.
Okay. She has 3 months of recoup. 3 months.
Okay. Well, so, is she? Hey, Pat, is she okay?
Yes, she's okay. Yeah, everything's going along pretty
good. Hey, Pat, can I tell you something? You sound like my mom. You're
not
my mom, are you?
You told me the last time I called.
So we sound like my mom. Is this Cheryl? Are you? Is this who this is?
I called you 2 years ago, JV, because I'm an avid pacer.
I remember, Pat. You call. I got to hit a break here, but you call it. I swear to you, you sound like my mom. Thank you for calling. That sounded like my mom is going, what? There's no. There is no way. There is zero way in this world I am that big of a butthole. None. Zero. You can say what you want. No way. I love Pat, and it sounds like my mom. And let me tell you this, I'd listen to like Pat talk all day before some of these Alex Jones conspiracy theory calls that I'm getting here, so it's all good. I swear to you. Well, I know where you guys are taking this. Pat, you call anytime you want. Speaking of anytime you want, you guys ready? Your calls on the other side. Can we take calls for Venturi here too? We do that? Can we do that? Rick Venturi's return to the show is today. He was in the booth on Saturday. We'll get into that. We'll get into luck, life without luck, and with Jacoby Brissett. Your questions, stay on hold, and more. 239-1070. The return of Rick, next.
This is the Colts Review on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Live from the Power Home Solar Radio Studio. Here's the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
Welcome to the Colts Review, proudly presented by First Financial Bank, member FDIC. At First Financial Bank, we go beyond banking by putting you first. Learn more at bankitfirst.com. Andrew Luck has retired from the National Football League. We all know that. A surplus of injuries has taken its toll on Luck as he ends his career at the age of 29. We'll hear from Colts GM Chris Ballard on the news in 30 seconds.
As a fan, you know what it means to believe in something, to truly support and get behind it, to be committed and invested in making sure your team succeeds. At First Financial Bank, your success is our success. When you share your goals with us, our local team will help you realize all the possibilities for achieving them. We provide a personalized experience you won't find anywhere else. Because as your number one fan, we put your success first. First Financial Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at bankatfirst.com.
On Saturday night during the Colts and Bears preseason game, news broke that Andrew Luck is retiring from the NFL. It certainly caught most of us off guard, me included. But 4 years of injuries have taken its toll on Luck, and after the game, Chris Ballard was thankful for all that Luck has done.
Wish him the best. Wish Andrew Luck the best. You know, for those people that booed tonight, I want you to, it's an emotional time, and I understand that. But this young man has done a lot for the city of Indianapolis and for the Indianapolis Colts. Nobody died, and we keep moving forward. And that's what we'll do, and we'll make this city proud.
Andrew Luck finished his career with a 53-33 overall record in the regular season, 20 games over 500. He ranks third all-time in franchise history in completions, passing attempts, passing yards, and touchdowns, and is second in completion percentage and quarterback rating. And every year he was healthy, he helped the Colts win double-figure games, and they reached the playoffs every year. And that's the Colts Review, proudly presented by First Financial Bank, member FDIC. At First Financial Bank, we go beyond banking by putting you first. Learn more at bankitfirst.com.
Hey, it's Tony Kanan. I'm here with my friend Chuck Jones from BUSS Chevy. Chuck, what's hot this month?
Hey, TK. This month we're clearing the lot with our back-to-school sale. We have up to 20% off all new Chevys.
Up to 20% off all new Chevys? You gotta be kidding me.
Nope. And there's no payments until Thanksgiving. You heard me right. No payments until Thanksgiving.
I better find your roads to BUSS Chevy or online at BUSSChevy.com. Just ask for the CJ deal.
Very funny, TK. Everybody knows it's the TK deal.
Looking for relief from high electric bills? Get new windows from Universal Windows Direct. Universal Windows Direct windows are made with Unishield high-performance glass and Super Spacer, a proprietary non-metal glass spacer system developed by NASA. And right now, for every window you buy, you get the next window free with no limits and 0% financing for 36 months, plus a true lifetime warranty for you and 30 years for the next homeowner. Start saving today when you schedule your free in-home estimate at 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com and you'll say, I love my windows.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling.
Located out in Danville and serving Hendricks and surrounding counties, owner Danny Reinhardt says this truly is a family business.
My 3 children, Kevin, Corey, and Kim, they all work for me. I have another gentleman that's been with me since I started, Stumpy, and he still works for me. And then Brian come to work for us in 2006, and so we really truly are a family business.
Give Reinhardt a call at 745-4526. Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
It takes courage to talk with that someone special when there are problems in the bedroom. Erectile dysfunction, or PE, can shatter your confidence and make your relationship challenging. You can put an end to these issues. Have the courage to make just one confidential visit to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic and get that spark back in your relationship. The doctors at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic offer the latest solutions for all ED and PE issues, and you'll see results in your first visit, or there's no charge. Call 999-9000 to meet with their licensed providers, no matter your age or your conditions. Diabetes, high blood pressure, prostate cancer, low testosterone causing your issue. It doesn't matter. They can help. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000, or online at indymensclinic.com. Have the courage to take that first step. Indianapolis Men's Clinic, your key to a better life.
Hey, it's JMV. Here is the Forum Credit Union dream moment this past weekend. That's your Forum Credit Union dream moment. This week's dream moment presented by my good friends Kevin and the gang at Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams every day.
Summer in Indianapolis, and if you don't want to spend it painting, do what your neighbor Patty did. She called Rhino Shield.
What motivated me to call was 2 projects that we had at our house. The summers would come and go, and I finally just said, got to get these 2 things painted. They look terrible, and it needs to be done, and that's how we got involved with Rhino Shield.
With Rhino Shield, it's not paint. It's so much more.
Colors matched up very well with our house, and they were in and out, no mess. It all looks great. I was very pleased.
Now Central Indiana, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
Call Rhino Shield. The professional people that will come out and do the painting is well worth the investment.
And as Jim Williams, owner of Rhino Shield, says,
this offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
No paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This super hot summer weather sure takes a toll on you, but what it can really take a toll on is the structural integrity of your home. Denny Smith here, and if you're seeing cracked bricks or drywall, have bouncy floors or sticking doors and windows, it could be signs of a big problem. But good news, Indiana Foundation Services can fix that for you. Fix your foundation this summer with no payments and 0 interest until 2021. How cool is that? Schedule your free inspection today. Go to indianafoundation.com. That's indianafoundation.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. A lot of people don't know this, but before I was in the mortgage industry, I actually was a real estate agent. The home buying season was really the last day of school till the first day of the next year. I mean it when I say it. If you're even considering buying a house, there's nothing more important than getting pre-approved, and pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender. Get pre-approved today with our 5-minute loan approval at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct, get 5 years 0 interest financing on any purchase with nothing down. It starts this Saturday at Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing.
The Ride with JMV.
No shirt, no shoes, no ties.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Love you, Pat. Love you. Oh, we're going to try to work some questions in there, I think, too. We got Matt with a Rick question. Because he's back on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You guys wait on hold here. The return. We didn't know we were going to go down this path today. He was in the television booth on Saturday night, and I kind of wondered, as Rick Venturi joins us now, why you didn't kind of take what I lobbed at you in that pregame show about Jim joining you guys in the booth in the fourth quarter more than you did, and now I completely understand.
Well, I didn't understand when we did the pre-game interview, but that's that third game has kind of been a staple.
Yeah.
For Jim to be up there, and just before I went on with you guys in the pregame, I got the word that we were going to postpone it to next week, and I didn't. I was a little unsure if that was actually true or not, and I didn't want to make your questions look bad. And that's why I was evasive, John. But obviously, none of us saw this psychological meltdown coming.
All right, I think we've heard from everybody and me now for the second day in a row regarding what has transpired here since Saturday night. What do you think of really an all-encompassing thought about Andrew Luck, his retirement, and both sides of this thing?
Yeah, well, first of all, what you talk about a bizarre evening. All I can say as I look back on it is we started the game with a tribute and a cheering for Chuck Pagano and ended with booing Andrew Luck. So I mean, that's a heck of a 3-hour feat right there to do that. But in my take on it is that what we saw really, and we've seen it coming. Is really, when I'm not a professional, but to me, I know athletes, I know sports, I know pressure, and to me, this was a psychological meltdown, so to speak. Now, obviously, the injuries, the cumulative injuries over time have had something to do with it. But last year was a great year. I mean, it was fun. He basically was clean, went to the Pro Bowl, all that. So it isn't like 4 years. And just remember, I mean, Brady had a serious ACL. Marino, serious ACL. Breeze had what they thought was a career-ending shoulder. And Peyton played after a broken neck. So, I mean, it isn't like this doesn't happen. I mean, it isn't like you're injury-free. This is a sport that happens. And I think part of it, is a year ago coming back was a low expectation year for everyone. It was a low expectation for the team. It was really low expectations for Andrew because really what it was a hopeful return of Andrew, not necessarily, I don't think anybody was putting any pressure. Now you come into this season and all of a sudden I think this is the first casualty of tremendous expectations. You come back, you're not quite right. Every day that you miss, you're a day behind. You're expected to be, that top 5 quarterback, that championship guy. And, all of a sudden, you got a mental problem. I've had that. We've all had that. We've all had those crises. And I've always thought that, he was, I'll put it tactfully, a different kind of guy.
Sure.
He's a guy that is really interesting when he's on the field. If you've been around it like I have in games and in practice, once he steps in between the lines for a game or a practice, he commands the field. I mean, he is a big-time leader. I mean, he moves guys around. He orchestrates. He doesn't do it like Manning did as a ringmaster, but he has the same effect. But when he gets off the field, he's a different dude. I mean, his press conferences go on. They're endless. They're, in many cases, over-analysis. They border on geeky, just like the other night. I mean, let's face it, he is an architectural engineer, and he's a brilliant guy. So, that genre alone basically defines analysis. And I think in his case, many times it's an over-analysis. There's a worry. We worry too much about it. There's, at some point you just get out there and play. It's a game that you play with pain. I mean, he's different in that, in another respect, and I don't think he's a typical NFL player. I mean, who goes to Switzerland to do things? Who goes to London to watch soccer games? I mean, who does that in the NFL? I mean, he's very different from that standpoint. He has an advanced lifestyle. He has all kinds of interests. I see him in March, with his book club. I see Peyton watching tape. I mean, he's got $97 million that he's made. So, he can walk away from it. I've always said, you can say that you love something. You love the game. I love the game. People fall in love and marriages break up every day. I mean, love comes and goes. The key is the game your existence. That's the difference. And I'm not sure that it is with him. I'm just not. And I think when you get to that point, a lot of us, when we go through a crisis, we don't have $97 million. We love the game, and we can't give it up, and we won't give it up. And that's where you see, the Joe Stasiaks and the Jeff Harads and a lot of these guys that have paid the price over the years, but were warriors and did it. And so, I mean, he's able to walk away. I mean, from a human standpoint, from a humanistic standpoint, I can empathize. I was there in 95. I had a near nervous breakdown. It started with just, working around the clock, expectations, but, basically I didn't have the advantage. I couldn't back away from it. I couldn't walk away from it. I couldn't walk away from my team. So, as I said, as a human, I can understand it. I can empathize to some degree, but my DNA never would allow me to accept walking away with a sore leg. So I guess that's what I'll say from the Andrew perspective.
And Rick Venturi joins us. I want to ask you this because I think we both agree that Jim certainly was onto something when he talked with you guys in the booth 2 years ago about where some of the situation were to lie. And a lot of people bristled with that, got upset with that. And frankly, we're probably going to upset some folks with our conversation right now, but there's really no way to get around it unless we just kind of address it straightforward. And this was brought to me, and I think you were in St. Louis at the time. Can you compare maybe what Andrew has been going through with pain and it being there, not being there, consistent or whatever, to a baseball player that you cover like Rick Ankiel having the yips? I mean, is there something that just gets there that kind of just doesn't leave? I mean, is there a comparison to what they call in baseball kind of the yips?
You know what? And I would have to look at it in depth. I know both situations. Ankiel was never. He was never a four-time Pro Bowler. He didn't reach the heights that Andrew did. But in a sense, when he couldn't reach expectations or didn't feel, it did create a crisis within. And that's what I think happened here. And again, he is able to walk away from it. Now, I'm glad you brought up Jim because I want to take it another step. Because after the game, and I think sometimes the Colts make a mistake, and I'm not sure why, but the most candid guy of them all is Irsay. I thought Irsay was the star of the post game press conference. He really did four things. He gave the guy his due. From that standpoint, he gave him his due. He gave him kind of a humanistic, I see this as a father. As a father, I would advise this. Number 3, he gave him an out to come back. And then number 4, he turned the page. He turned the page. He used the comparison of Bledsoe going down and Brady coming in and playing. He used another St. Louis analogy when Dick Vermeil lost Trent Green, and came out and made that impassionate. I was in the division in that impassionate speech. We will play with Kurt Warner and we will play good football. And then he kind of did that without hyperbole. After that, I thought it got kind of hyperbolic, and I think if we'd have gone another hour, Jacoby Brissett would have been fitted for a yellow jacket. So, but going back to the 2 years ago, basically the question was asked by me at the time is when Andrew is released by the doctors, when he is released, how long will it take? And Jim simply said that's going to be between the 4 inches between the ears, meaning that will be the psychological edge that he has to get over. That will be up to him. Now, Frank, this year in the last month, now Frank has done it senatorially. He has a very good delivery. He doesn't get hyperbolic, but he has used terms like pain threshold. It's up to him. So, and I'm not saying that there is no disconnect, but I do feel like over time people do, and I'm speculating here.
And again, they're being dictated from Andrew, though, Rick. I mean, we know that they're getting dictation from Andrew about what to say. And I mentioned this earlier and yesterday. the past month of what Frank has to say, we both know Frank, and he is a good dude.
Oh,
you got to
man.
look back on that and think, I said all that crap, and now looking at it, go, wow, since, the guy that you were talking about and, basically was dictating what was being said from this organization, decided to walk away.
Well, I guess I would ask three questions, because I don't, we can speculate. We can speculate the whys, and if this was fraudulent, if it was a predetermined, I don't know. I don't think I see it that way, but I would ask three questions on this whole deal and how it came down. Number one, was it misdiagnosed? And we would know someday, but retiring at this point in time, we really wouldn't know. Because if it was misdiagnosed in the beginning, as a calf strain, and it was something else, then that would be, that would be inexcusable. Because I know treatment-wise, I do know the guys that treat over there, and I have great faith in them. So I don't think treatment-wise it was wrong. So I go back to diagnosis, and then two things to me have really just put a darkness on this. Number one, whoever sanctioned, whether it was Andrews' people, sanctioned by the Colts or whatever, but whoever let him go out on that nationally televised day against Cleveland and go over those bags, I think basically that's somebody that should really come under fire, whether it was his people or if it was sanctioned, because there's no way that you can do that on a nationally televised game on that scene and not create an optimism about him coming back. I'll tell you myself, when I watched it, and I can't tell you how many players in my 27 years that I had to go out an hour and a half before the game. They'll say game time decision. And so what that procedure is, you go out an hour and a half before the game, and the guys touch and go, so you work him through some really hard drills, no matter what the position, and then you come back and you tell the head coach, hey, coach, he can't go, or coach, he can go. It's just up to him.
Yeah.
When I saw that drill, I've seen guys look 10 times worse than that go out and play. I mean, you couldn't walk away from that and not without a sense of optimism. So in that respect, all of a sudden, 1 week before the meltdown, we really get a false optimistic view of this. And then I would say the last thing, and this is this is the world you live in, and you're great at it. But who in the Sam hell leaked it to Shepner? I mean, that to me, now Shepner's just doing his job. I mean, he is not at fault. This is what he gets paid to, whether I like the style that we live in or the world we live in of social media today. Obviously, it isn't my world, but it is the world we live in. It's the world I accept. He's doing his job. But who in the hell leaked it? Because that created a really bad day and a bad delivery on Saturday night. Had that been a press conference on Sunday, suit and coat and tie, backdrop there at the nice studios of the Colts, proper people there, proper preparation, I don't think that nearly the reaction would have been like it was at the time. And I understand the fans. I don't see, when you raise your hand to be a coach or a player in professional sports, and people are paying that kind of money, and they basically held hostage to go to preseason games, all right, and that kind of money, and then all of a sudden they get something like that, they're not going to be happy. And I've always said this. I said this to my family. When those people pay that kind of money, they have the right to boo. They have the right to do whatever they want. Now, don't stop me in the parking lot. Don't come up here in the North Harbor. Don't harass my family. You don't have the right to do that. But in terms of your reaction, and I tell you what, I had a tough reaction myself. I mean, I see a guy over there joking with his teammates in a white T-shirt, walking off.
He didn't know. He didn't know until the last minute either.
I understand that, and that's why I go back to whoever the hell leaked it created a worse situation that would have never been there had that been a normal 3 o'clock press conference on Sunday.
Yep. Hey, Rick, I'm going to take a break and come back. You cool with that?
Absolutely.
We'll reload it, and we get to think about this as well. From what I was told, this whole thing was created on the sideline. So we're assuming that it's somebody that Andrew shared the information with and it got someplace. And we'll get back to that coming up on the other side. Rick, we're going to put you on hold. Rick Venturi is back for 2019. Your calls and a lot more on just some interesting Andrew Luck conversation where, well, clearly we haven't been yet. It's coming up next. 93.5 and 107.5 FM, The Fan.
The JMV Sucks But His Larceny Bourbon Golf Outing does, and it's Monday, September 16th at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin. Sign up today for early bird pricing for your foursome.
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like Comcast Business could give you more. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 8/30/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Summer in Indianapolis, and if you don't want to spend it painting, do what your neighbor Patty did. She called Rhino Shield.
What motivated me to call was 2 projects that we had at our house. The summers would come and go, and I finally just said, got to get these 2 things painted. They look terrible, and it needs to be done, and that's how we got involved with Rhino Shield.
With Rhino Shield, it's not paint. It's so much more.
Colors matched up very well with our house, and they were in and out, no mess. It all looks great. I was very pleased.
Now, Central Indiana, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
Call Rhino Shield. The professional people that will come out and do the painting is well worth the investment.
And as Jim Williams, owner of Rhino Shield, says,
this offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Your real growing hair again. Darren Anders, private consultation with PAI. If you want options, you got them. Options for your real growing hair again. And let Darren tell you all about it. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Welcome to Velo, the modern take on nicotine. It's the hassle-free nicotine pouch that leaves the chargers, smoke, and mess where they belong, in the past. So whether you're mid-flight or mid-meeting, on the grind or off the grid, living large or laying low, with Velo, there are no limits to where you can go. Go to Velo.com now to find your retailer. Velo, no limits. Website restricted to age 21 plus tobacco consumers. Underage sale prohibited.
Hoosier fans, Indiana football tickets are on sale now for the 2019 season. IU football hosts 6 home games this fall, including matchups against Big Ten East rivals, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. Fans can purchase single-game tickets as low as $20 and $200 for season tickets. For complete ticket information, visit IUHoosiers.com today. Go IU!
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from the Bill Estes Ford family. Summer's coming to a close, and it's your last chance to upgrade to a newer, fresher car at our certified pre-owned headquarters in Brownsburg.
Tell them about the inventory.
I know, Brian, calm down. We have executive cars, repos, and a huge inventory of late-model certified pre-owned vehicles. And these certified pre-owned vehicles are available at just 1.9% financing for 60 months.
Right now, you can also get $2,000 more for your trade-in. Right now.
Brian, you have to relax.
I can't, Rob, because right now is the Hurry and Save event at Ford, with 20% off all new vehicles as well.
Wait, new Fords are 20% off?
Yes, right now. Escapes is $16,995, Fusions for $17,995, and 27% off F-150s. But these deals end Labor Day, so you gotta come right now.
But when should they come, Brian?
I don't have time for you to tease me. I gotta go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hurry up and save at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg at the hottest corner in Hendricks County. Right now!
I heard that.
John for CarX, Central Indiana locations. Joe Childers run CarX. I love you. 135 and Micah, Kevin, Justin, and the gang down in Greenwood. You guys are spectacular. Anything you need done on your ride, car, truck, or van, they can do it for you. Timely service, the service you can count on, and great prices. Tires, brakes, anything you need mechanically done on your car, truck, or van. Tell them I sent you. Joe Childers run CarX locations in Central Indiana. Make it CarX today.
You still haven't gotten that exterior painting job done yet, have you? Well, don't worry. You still have time thanks to your neighborhood CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. And just like at my house, you will love the results. CertaPro Painters of Indianapolis is extending their 20th anniversary special of a free interior wall paint upgrade for any project completed by September 1st. Give CertaPro Painters a call to get on the schedule before the outdoor painting season comes to an end at 800-GO-CERTA or go to CertaPro.com. And remember, Certa is spelled with a C. CertaPro Painters. We do painting, you do life.
Get ready for Diamonds Direct's most incredible offer ever. Starting this Saturday, get the guaranteed lowest price. Pay $0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase. So a $6,000 engagement ring is yours for as low as $100 a month. Don't miss this spectacular buying opportunity. Everything's included, and you can finance up to 100% of the purchase, including the tax. It starts this Saturday only at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit, get details and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Andrew Luck retires from the NFL. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan will have complete coverage all week. Where do the Colts go from here? 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
And back to Rick Venturi rejoining us. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. In a couple of minutes, and I got to get into another break, and we'll have a strong 5 o'clock hour ahead with us. Is there a difference between, Rick, in your opinion, Andrew Luck retiring and quitting? Is there a difference, you?
Well, no, I think it's related in some respects. I mean, there is a quit aspect of it. I mean, you're 29 years old. You've got a sore leg. Don't get me wrong. There's been a cumulative, bind on them. And so it's a retirement, but it isn't to me, it isn't a natural retirement. I mean, I say, I hang in there, I fight through this thing. Maybe I'm not ready to go for the opening part of the season, but, in his own words, which are very wordy, and, we use pain cycles, we use all these, analytical terms, but he said, in a sense, the only way out is to leave football. So, this is a guy in tremendous conflict, but, from the diagnosis that we know and that we're led to believe, certainly, and we don't really have any reason to believe it unless we want a conspiracy theory, then he walked away from the game.
Rick Venturi with us. All right, I want to get right with the clock here if you're okay. I'm sorry to take another break, but I want to get right with the clock. And if you don't mind, I want to offer up some folks at 239-1070 to chime in here, okay?
Sure.
All right, Rick Venturi is back at 239-1070. Your calls if you're on hold and a whole lot more. We rejoin Rick, you, me, everybody listening in the 5 o'clock hour. It's going to be good. Back with you next.
Indiana Comic-Con is this weekend at Indianapolis's Indiana Convention Center. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 30th through September 1st. Featuring comic books, toys, costumes, Star Wars, Star Trek, Power Rangers, guest artists, writers, and celebrity guests. Check out Indiana Comic-Con this weekend, August 30th through September 1st in Indianapolis. Oh, and did I mention that kids 12 and under get in free? Visit IndianaComicCon.com for tickets and details.
At 1 Hour, we stand behind our work, and I mean for years. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger from 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. If our repair fails in the first 2 years, we'll fix it again for free. Who else can say that? We gladly guarantee our repairs because we know the care that goes into them. Call us at 844-1-HOUR. That's 844-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions apply. License number H0010668.
John from PAI, it's WeGrowHairIndy.com, 888-724-5129. Darren Andrews, multi-unit hair grafting artist, robotic FUE, and PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma to get your hair growing again. You don't have to be bald, and it's your real growing hair with PAI, 888-724-5129, or WeGrowHairIndy.com. And Darren Andrews today.
The NHRA Mellow Yellow Drag Racing Series, the world's most explosive motorsport, is returning to Lucas Oil Raceway in Indy. NHRA's 330-mile-per-hour, 11,000 horsepower top-fuel dragster and funny car drivers are ready to face off at the 65th Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals this weekend. Every ticket gets you access to the race pits, so bring the family, meet the drivers, and be a part of the action. Get tickets early and save at NHRA.com or call 800-884-NHRA. You wanted the best, but you got the best. The hardest band in the world. Cheers!
Kiss, the end of the road tour. One last kiss. This Saturday, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Kiss on their final tour ever. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. History will be made.
John for Connecticut, got to get you the best water possible with Connecticut with this deal. Are you ready? It is a triple play of sorts here. $1,500 off right now. Get the order in. Premier Series water softener, in-home drinking water station, and the leak detection system. It is Joe, John, and Dennis with a great deal. I got to thank Mark as he delivered the official hydration of the Backyard Bourbon broadcast last Friday, but you will love it. The best water possible, Premier Series water softener, leak detection system, in-home drinking water station, $1,500 off right now with Connecticut. Northeast side, Castleton, south side, US 31 and Southport Road. Online, ConnecticutIndy.com today.
Summer in Indianapolis, and if you don't want to spend it painting, do what your neighbor Glenn did with not one but two homes. He called Rhino Shield.
My wife actually, on our old house, on our roof, and the paint can then fell, covering the roof and the shingles, and it was at that point we said, we just really don't want to do this anymore.
With Rhino Shield, it's not paint. It's so much more.
There is an R factor to the paint. We actually feel as though we're reduced our heating bills, even our air conditioning bills, just because of the R factor.
Now, Central Indiana, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
And it actually transferred to the new owner.
And as Jim Williams, owner of Rhino Shield, says,
this offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
We've watched our neighbors who moved in after us already start to repaint, and we're just cooking along.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
College football in Indy starts August 31st when Ball State takes on IU in the Ruoff Kickoff Classic at Lucas Oil Stadium. Call 888-BSU-TICKET.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Andrew Luck retires from the NFL. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan will have complete coverage all week. Where do the Colts go from here? 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It's all things Colts with former coach Rick Venturi. The Ride with JMV. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome back. Rick Venturi's return is always fantastic. Your calls at 239-1070, which is a new wrinkle we're going to throw into the process. Rick rejoins us right now. I think where we left off, we were talking about your thoughts on Andrew Luck, and if there's anything we haven't covered yet regarding the Colts. Do you see any big, grand conspiracy, as others do, about how the Colts are trying to sell some tickets and weren't telling folks what was going on with him?
It's hard for me to go there without empirical evidence. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist by nature. I'm a body language guy. I do try to translate what people say, what the messages are out there. This was a guy that played in the Pro Bowl. This is a guy that came back and they diagnosed it as a minor calf injury. It went on, and then, it seems to have gotten worse. And of course, then we had the over the bags on the week before the game. It's hard for me to go there without more empirical evidence. I feel like that basically Chris and Frank, I like you said, I think basically they were under the assumption that, he would progress and he would be ready for the regular season. When now I will say this, as it went on, you could see Frank's verbiage really lighten up. It wasn't nearly as strong as when they started training. When they started training camp, it was almost, it's just a matter of time. We're just going to take them through this process and go. And then by the end of it, things like, as I said before, pain threshold up to him, those kind of things substituted for, he will be ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to try to think about that. These guys, all four of these guys in the room, trying to come up with some big plan to make sure that they sell tickets and create the biggest distraction known to man. So it sounds
exactly.
good. Yeah.
And if in fact it is true, if in fact that happens, then they will have dug a hole that will be very, very difficult to get out of.
And I think because of how this has all been set up, and again, because Andrew Luck was the pilot of this, that because he steps away and the timing being awful and really hosing a lot of folks in the process, it's going to be hard for the Colts organizationally to get that benefit of the doubt from the fans, regardless of their lack of ill intentions, Rick.
Well,
I mean, this puts them in a bad spot anyway.
Yeah, there's no question about that, and that's where the process itself really broke down. I thought the last 7 days process, the optimism that was created with the pregame warm-up the week before, and then the disastrous release of the information during the game, and I think you have a problem with the fans anyway. I mean, this not playing guys in preseason, and to a point where your starting quarterback, who's really not a proven commodity, threw 15 balls in the preseason. That's what he threw. And so, when people are forced to pay, big time money as a part of those, no longer 8 games but 10 games, and then you're not seeing any veteran players, I think you get a resistance immediately on that alone, much less an announcement like this. So, the only way that you're going to beat this is you're going to have to beat it on the field. You're going to have to beat it with a terrific product on the field. They're going to have to find a way to get Brissett to play to their expectations. And they're going to have to get off and get running in these first 5 games.
So Rick Venturi on the Eddie Moore Automotive Group hotline. We'll move on to Jacoby and your expectations in just a second, but I do want to close it out with the luck portion. And this is something I brought up. It was probably ill-advised by me, but I do this often. Do you think, and it won't be this year because we know the guidelines and the rules, but do you think this is the last around here we've seen of Luck, or will maybe he have the interest in football and those juices refire again next year?
Yeah, I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible. I know we've all been in dark places, and sometimes what happens is that you walk away from it, you get rested, everything gets right. All of a sudden, you realize how much it does mean to you. You go out in civilian life, and all of a sudden, it's not the same. It's not the same notoriety. It's not the same lifestyle. It isn't the same juice as when you're in the mainstream. I mean, there's nothing like it, for better or worse, than to be in that mainstream when it goes good, when it goes bad, but you are a player. And when you're no longer a player, that'll get old pretty quickly. And sometimes what you need is just a rest. I know in '95, I just needed 2 weeks. And once I got it, and of course I was so hungry and the game was my life and I needed the money. So it forced you to come back. But I don't think you've seen the end of them.
It's Rick Venturi with us. All right, Jacoby Brissett. Listen, this roster does look better, I think, across the board here. What can Jacoby Brissett do? He's been described by this organization as a top 20 quarterback in the NFL. I am not a buyer of what they're selling there, but what would you expect, and in particular early on, from him?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I've never, like I said, if that press conference would have gone on another hour Saturday night, they'd have been fitting him for a yellow jacket there in Canton. I've never been quite as enamored, as you know. We've talked on this show many times, as they are with him. I liked him. I like certain things about him. I think the way I would describe it to you, John, is in isolation, he does a lot of things well. He's got a big arm. He's mobile. He's big. He can see over the top. He can throw the deep ball. He's tougher than hell. I mean, he was sacked 52 times, which was the league lead, back in 17. He never cried about it. He never pouted. He never, he just kept on ticking. So and I think he's a likable guy. I think players like him. I mean, I think in that respect, he has tools to be good. The biggest problem to me the biggest challenge is, can Frank and Sirianni, who are really good coaches, both technique-wise and creativity-wise, can check down Reed, because he struggled at times by being deliberate in the pocket, by waiting for it to open up, and there's a deliberation. So, to me, you want to schematically be real decisive with him, make him decisive like he was in that short spurt against Cleveland, where he was 8 for 10. He had a really good day. And then the other thing is accuracy. Can he be accurate and touch-wise over time? I rank him as decent accuracy, not great accuracy, and at times the touch isn't always there. So, I say this, to make him a top 20 or something like that, the empirical evidence just isn't there. I mean, at the end of the day, I know he played with a really, really bad team, but he had a 59% completion average, and he was 27th QBR in the league. So, I mean, that was there. Now, that's history, and that doesn't mean anything today. He played with a very bad team. It was a very bad football team in 17. The supporting cast, the defense, all of it wasn't very good. As we go to 2019, now I would not tank the season, because I think he's good enough, and this team is good enough to really still be in the hunt. I honestly do. And it's going to be, can they get him to perform at a high level, and that we will see. Can they get him to be decisive and accurate over 60 minutes and for 16 Sundays? I don't think we know. And, I mean, the fact that we didn't even play him in the third game, I mean, he threw 15 passes under fire in the preseason. So, time will tell. That decision, the value of that decision will be there in September and October. But this is a much better football team. This is there's weapons on offense all over the place. This is not like 2017. And you have a coaching staff that knows how to use it, and I think they will adapt to him. Even though he's Andrew Luck type, they do things differently. He has favorites. He's a different kind of guy. He doesn't have the anticipation that Andrew does, nor the quick release. But he's got a big arm, tough, can move, can avoid. He showed you 2 really good plays in the Browns game there. The free blitzer he avoided, and threw a real nice out to Ebron, and then the touchdown in the red zone was terrific. So, again, it's not like we're going in there with Scott Tolzien, which I knew when we went in there we were dead. So, I mean, this is, I don't think, obviously right now, we're in this real lull because of the magnitude of the Luck situation, but I don't think there's any reason to tank with this team, because I think this is a very solid football team. And, John, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We're going to find out in the first 5 weeks. The first 5 weeks of the season, you're playing 2 AFC, really 2 of the top 4 teams in the AFC in the first 5. You're going to play a tremendously improved Oakland team at Tennessee, and then the Falcons, who I think will be tremendously improved. So by the time you hit that bye, you're going to really have a good idea what this team is. But again, and I mean this from the heart, I don't, me, because I'm not gonna. This is unfiltered. I don't think that there's any reason to tank at this point.
Rick Venturi's with us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Is there a better option out there for a potential quarterback?
Well, probably not. I mean, the only thing that you would probably consider, you'd have to consider. I mean, if you thought about this, your options are one of 2 to me. one, you would have to get a proven guy that really has done it and you think can still do it and that brings the charisma and leadership to it. And that would be a guy, and there's one guy that comes to mind, and that would be Eli Manning. You would, because I think the Manning hook here would be tremendous. I'm not sure that the Giants don't really want to move on. It costs you a lot of money, but we have money. But if you're not going to go to that level, then what you've got to do is decide, are there guys out there that are better than Kelly? Because I think, and I know that he's not going to play in the first 2 weeks, but Kelly has been terrific, albeit in the third and fourth quarter, which is a lot of Vitalis squad, but he has given me the wow factor, and this guy was the backup at Denver. And so, then what you either go for a top flight guy, a specific guy like trading up in the draft, or you look for a guy to be the number 2 to Brissett, because I don't think that guy's Philip Walker. I mean, he might be for 2 weeks, but I think if you go with Philip Walker, you're going to have to reduce your game plan and play college football. Now, Kelly, I wouldn't say that. I think Kelly has tremendous upside. So, but, we don't even have the advantage of having him for the first 2 weeks. I'm not trying to be vague on that, but I think if you don't go out and get a guy like Peyton Manning, or not Peyton Manning, but Eli Manning, which is probably impossible, but I do think the Giants would probably think about it. Then you're looking to replace, Walker and Kelly. You've got to be sure that you get somebody that would be an ideal backup.
So Rick Venturi, Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. Anything else that you wanted to talk about before we take a couple of calls here and probably get lost back in the Lux spectrum here regarding what you have seen so far and what you expect?
I did. I was really enjoying the game the other night till the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter diminished both because of the news and because of the play. I did think that there was some, I wasn't, and I'm still not, I'm not in favor of not playing guys in week 3. I'm going through tape today. I'm watching Russell Wilson run around in the third game. I'm watching Tom Brady go 8 for 12. So apparently Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick, who've won some Super Bowls, have not, didn't get that memo. But what I did like, it did give the opportunity for us to see some guys. For instance, just to start Kelly against the top number 2s, not bad number 2s, top number 2s, and he really showed us, on and beyond what I have anticipated. Like I said, I kind of have the wow factor on him right now. The other big significant things in the game, and the significant things in this game, we're going to find guys that are going to be really either situational players, or they're going to be prime backups right off the bat, or they're going to go in and play right off the bat. I thought Deion Kane just topped off, put an exclamation point on a great comeback. Not only has he been productive, but I've seen from day one out there a guy that has come back off that ACL, and I see no basic reversion on quickness, twitch, and go. I think they will have a very difficult time keeping him out of the starting lineup. I could see him being a starter at split end, with Funchess becoming more of a role player, more in the slot, things like that. I think that's critical. I think the Toure plays. I think the other significant guy was Toure, because we need him, and in passing situation, he's not a good run defender. But again, we've seen him 2 different kinds of sacks, 4 tackles for losses against pretty good competition. And so I look for him now to be in there with Houston on those passing downs to give us that other guy. So that's really, really significant. I thought that, I thought our offensive line backups that played, I thought it's really shaky. I don't think it's very good. I don't think our first team line, they haven't played together.
Was LaRaven Clark trying to play bad?
It's really, what a disappointing night for him. I thought, now there's one exception to that. There's one exception. I think Joe Haig has had a really good preseason. And I think basically right now, he might be a 5-hole player. He might be the first backup all the way across. I always thought Raven would be the left tackle, but he finds ways to get out of the lineup. And I also think that Josh Andrews and Boehm have really struggled. Now I like Boehm simply because I do think he posted up pretty well when he played for Kelly, and you can almost be assured that Kelly will be out some. But that backup offensive line is shaky, and really, I want to see that first offensive line really improve on some things. Our blitz pickup has been pitiful. I mean, in the Cleveland practices, when they really used it, we really had trouble with things. We had trouble in the Cleveland game. We had trouble in the Chicago game. And so, I don't know what's going on there, but that coordination really, really has to pick up by the time we go to Los Angeles, because the Chargers can come after you both with their 4 and with their blitzes. I like what I've seen on defense. I think our offense has been uneven, including Brissett. If you've been there every day, you have not been impressed other than that 20 minutes against the Browns in that preseason game against the Browns number 2. But our defense has been just the opposite. Our defense has dominated almost on a daily basis. I think they've looked really good up front. They're fast. I think they can get after it. I think Walker and Leonard obviously are really good. Toure really gives you something with Houston and Autry. I think the biggest key to me is Yassine ready? They've basically given him that job as the third corner. He looked really good early. I didn't think he looked very good in the Cleveland game. I thought Quincy played a little bit better. That's always been my concern, that we could hold up at that third corner, because you're going to play 3 corners about 67 to 70% of the time. And so hopefully Yassine is ready and is ready to play, because he's going to be looking at some really good players at that weak side split end, to start the season. So, again, a lot of good things did come out of that game. And particularly those first guys I mentioned, Toure for sure, and Deion Kane, because, John, those are potential game changers there, and that's what you need. I mean, everybody has guys that are just guys on their 53-man roster and role players, and to get to the next step, we're going to have a few more playmakers step up.
All right, a new wrinkle to the program with you is taking some calls. You cool with it?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, 239-1070, and Matt is on the air with Rick Venturi. Go ahead, Matt. What's your question?
Prior to the Andrew Luck news, the offensive line struggles were one of the bigger storylines, and I was kind of get Rick's take on that. Is that attributed to maybe the switching coaching change between Strouser and Gouge, or is that maybe that Glowinski and Smitty have struggled over there on the right side? I just wanted to hear Rick's opinion on that.
No, that's really a good question, Matt. And and you kind of are a man after my own heart here. I was, we'll see. Time will tell. To me, I was really surprised when they let Googs go. I thought the most improved area of our football team, both in temperament and scheme, was our offensive line. I thought that was on a level that we hadn't seen around here in a really, really long time. And I just haven't quite seen the fire. Now, they haven't all been together. They haven't all played a great deal. But there is a change there. And, as soon as you make a change like that from something that's been really good, again, every decision has consequences, and we'll see as we get into this game. I also think that, certainly in the summer practice, is that Brissett is much more deliberate. He's much more deliberate than Andrew is. Andrew, once they got to the quick rhythm passing with Frank a year ago, anticipated and released much quicker than he did early in his career with different schemes. The third thing, and the biggest thing I have a question about, Matt, is they have struggled with blitz pickups. They have had trouble when people walk up into what you hear me talk about, that double sugar, walk 2 guys up in the center areas and then bring guys off the edge. We've had a lot of free blitzers, even in that Cleveland game. The play I credited Brissett was a free rusher coming right up the middle. So we've got some work to do, and hopefully we will, because that was such a strength of our team a year ago. I mean, we went from 52 league-leading sacks given up to 18 league-leading from worst to first.
Rick Venturi takes your questions at 239-1070, and Todd's on line 4. Todd, what is your question? Go ahead.
I wanted to address the quarterback situation, but just real quick here. I mean, I still see this, even with the tough schedule, as an 8-8 team, but it's a funny league because 2 or 3 plays make you a 6-10 team, and one or two plays make you a 9 or 10 win team. It's just how the league goes. On the quarterback, and I mentioned to your director there that it was discussed the backup quarterback. Technically, we're all discussing. 10 days ago, these guys were all backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So one thing interesting about the set, and I really think this. I think that clearly Sirianni and Reich will give him better opportunities than Chudzinski and Pagano gave him 2 years ago. I think it'll be a different scheme, and I think that'll probably enhance his situation. And then secondly, I think everybody's generally in agreement that Kelly outplayed Walker in the preseason. I don't know the rules on this, and Coach probably does. Can you stash Kelly for a couple weeks, or do you got to keep him on that opening day roster? Because I don't know if you try to stash him, if somebody else has the ability to grab him, and that's a technical logistic thing.
He's on the suspended list, right, Rick? Right?
Yeah. No, those are all good questions. I'll start with the top very quickly. First of all, you're exactly right. In this league, anything can happen, and that's why I say this is not a tank situation. We used to say, and I always believe this to this day, that there's so much parity in the National Football League. You're basically handed an 8-8 season at the beginning of the year. You make it 6-10 or 10-6. So that's why I think that's more than possible. Even in the 4-12 year, there were so many games that were on the line that we could have won, and that could have looked totally different. I do totally agree with you, and that's why I'm very interested to see Jacoby, because there are a lot of things I like about him. And I do think with Frank, who there's no question he's a quarterback whisperer, and he's real significant here because he's gone from backup to starter. He knows that mentality. I mean, there's nobody better. And Sirianni brings that, between the two of them, they bring great creativity. And I think what they've done is they've maximized what they've had since they've been here. They just don't force a system. And as I said, I think Jacoby will flourish if you do a lot of quick rhythm and move him. And when you do throw deep, quick play action, touchdown, check down, 1-2, get rid of it. Don't wait for it to develop. Look at it, look it over, look at the defense, and go with it. And so I'm agreeing with you, the fact that I don't think that this season by any way is a throwaway, and I'm excited to see what they do with him.
So Rick Venturi with us. Thank you for the phone call. Got a couple more before I let you go here. Let's see. Leslie's on line 1 with Rick. Go ahead, Leslie.
Hi. I just want to ask a question. Would Mr. Irsay and Mr. Ballard consider Colin Kaepernick as a backup to Jacoby in case he gets hurt or something?
Well, I'm not in their heads. I would say that I think that would be totally a football decision. I've always felt that NFL people would hire Ted Bundy if he could help them win, to be honest with you. I've always felt that the controversy around him was overrated. I've always felt that the real reason he doesn't have a job is that he can't throw accurately enough, and he's not really truly an NFL quarterback. And if you have him, you have to have a total specialized offense like they did at San Francisco, and that's really not ideal from a backup situation. So, I mean, you never say never. I mean, all options are open at this point in time. I just feel like that they'll go with Jacoby, and because I do think they believe in him for better or worse. And I think that the second one is problematic. And you're right, Kelly will be suspended. So the decision on Kelly, if it's still Kelly and Walker, the decision on Kelly would have to be made in that third week. And I know what my decision would be. I mean, I think Kelly's legitimate. I'd hire a good life coach to make sure that he takes care of his lifestyle, because he's proven to me day in and day out that he's got some real special qualities.
Leslie, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's Leslie with a good call. Hey, one more thing. Here, I like that. You like this, Rick? We've never done it.
I've never been afraid of it. Even when I coach, I always felt like just tell it like it is. And people are so smart today. People understand things in the NFL, and it's just fun to talk to people about it.
All right, Michael, line 3 with Rick Venturi. Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you, David. Coach, I appreciate everything you've done for the city.
That's a tough one right there, Rick. Sorry. I don't know if that's going to work. Sorry. We'll see if we can reset that for a minute. Line 5's got Merrill. Merrill, hop on here really quick.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I'm just at a loss, really. I know how rehab and injury and all that is part of the NFL. I've had 9 labrums and had 2 total replacements done, but you can't just walk away. I mean, if he had dark feelings, if Andrew had dark feelings, why wouldn't he have exited before the draft? Or like Barry Krause said the other night, suck it up and play one more year and then retire. I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers hopping on one foot last year for the Bears game. I mean, holy cow.
Well, I'm with you. I have 2 hip replacements, a back fusion, and both ankles rebuilt. So, I do manage to get out to practice. But, I'm with you on that. I mean, the timing is horrendous. That's why I think it was a cumulative thing. I don't think it was a thing that was there necessarily in March. I think it's been cumulative. I really do. But at the same time, I will admit to you, the human side of me, okay, you're in a dark place, a psychological meltdown, which there's no doubt it is, but at the same time, I said earlier, my DNA just can't accept walking away with a sore leg.
Oh, I couldn't either. No, I played sports for years. I couldn't do it. And right now, I guess just God bless Ortho Indy. They put me back together a lot of times.
Thank you, Merrill, for the call. Appreciate that. Well, what'd you think about the whole taking calls segment right there? You like it?
Oh, yeah, I really do, John. And, like I said, we can go on. Heck, if we got to go on earlier on Monday, we're on weekly. We can talk all afternoon. I love being out there, as you know, when we do things remote. And I've just always been one of those unfiltered. If you ask me a question, I may not be right, but I'm going to tell you what I think.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add before I let you go here as far as points of interest here?
No, I'm looking forward to I really love working with Rake. You know that. We're doing I call it the Employment Bowl Thursday night in Cincinnati. I mean, a lot of people don't look forward to that. I really do because I've been there. There's so many kids just fighting their butts off for a job. I mean, there's so many things that can happen, so many dreams that can be either, the dreams live or they die Thursday night. These kids will play their tail off. And the other forgotten thing, which I always mention at this time of the year, it's not only those fringe spots on the roster, and I've seen a lot of guys steal it at the last minute, but it's those 300-plus practice squad jobs, which pay a lot more than a kid that graduates from college can start with in any other field. So, there's so much on the line on Thursday night, and I really kind of get into that. I look forward to that, and then we'll be in Los Angeles for real.
My friend, I love it. I'm so happy that you're back, and it's interesting conversation from what transpired Saturday, but it is always awesome radio when we get on here.
We're going to be on, and John, this is new. Every time we play a Thursday night, our weekly show will go also on Friday. So we'll be back on Friday this week, and then later when we play the Thursday night game.
Stay in touch this week. Thanks, Rick.
All right, John. Talk to you.
Rick Venturi is back. Right here, every Monday, and we'll adjust when the schedule prevails here. How about this? 239-1070. BullseyeEventGroup.com. It is the IU tailgate before the Ball State game at the Bullseye Event Center. A pair of passes, number 7 at 239-1070 right now. All you can eat, all you can drink. It'll be fun before the IU Ball State game. Bullseye Event Center with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Their IU tailgate. Number 7 at 239-1070 is a winner. NHRA tickets, a Brickyard 400 prize pack, and more with your phone calls before the top of the hour. Coming up next.
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like Comcast Business could give you more. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and auto pay. Offer ends 8/30/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Summer in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Bob did. He called Rhino Shield.
We live in a beautiful English Tudor. It's 2-story with stucco, and the sun just beats the heck out of the paint.
Rhino Shield. It's not paint. It's a lot more.
It's guaranteed for 25 years, so we also wondered if it would stick to the stucco. We had the house painted with Rhino Shield in 2009. It still looks like new. We aren't thinking about painting until 2034.
Now Central Indiana can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
If you love to paint, I wouldn't buy Rhino Shield, but if you'd rather use your time for something else, we've been happy to have a lot more free time.
Here's owner of Rhino Shield, Jim Williams.
This offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from the Bill Estes Ford family. Summer's coming to a close, and it's your last chance to upgrade to a newer, fresher car at our certified pre-owned headquarters in Brownsburg.
Tell them about the inventory.
I know, Brian, calm down. We have executive cars, repos, and a huge inventory of late-model certified pre-owned vehicles. And these certified pre-owned vehicles are available at just 1.9% financing for 60 months.
Right now, you can also get $2,000 more for your trade-in. Right now.
Brian, you have to relax.
I can't, Rob, because right now is the Hurry and Save event at Ford, with 20% off all new vehicles as well.
Wait, new Fords are 20% off?
Yes, right now. Escapes is $16,995, Fusions for $17,995, and 27% off F-150s. But these deals end Labor Day, so you gotta come right now.
But when should they come, Brian?
I don't have time for you to tease me. I gotta go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hurry up and save at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg at the hottest corner in Hendricks County. Right now!
I heard that.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Hey, Johnny of the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina, 812-824-BOAT is the number. Call Tony because the JMV special has been extended. We are talking a 3-night midweek staycation, just $199, and you can upgrade it for just $99 more. That'll get you a lakeside view. With the mini golf, the boat rental, it's Lake Monroe, late summer, early fall in September, and the indoor-outdoor pool, and the Windjammer Bar and Grill. You'll love it. Take the family to a great staycation destination at the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. 317, check that. 812-824-BOAT, 812-824-2628, or online fourwindslakeside.com today.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires, Brownsburg, Lebanon, 86th Street, Plainfield, and Mooresville. The team you trust.
College football in Indy starts August 31st when Ball State takes on IU in the Ruoff Kickoff Classic at Lucas Oil Stadium. Call 888-BSU-TICKET.
It's the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe.
And joining us now is Razor Shines. You actually met your wife diving into the stands after a foul ball?
I dove to catch a foul ball and knocked the Coke over in this gentleman's lap. And he was sitting there with his 2 daughters, and I've been married to his daughter now for 36 years.
The Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe. Weekday mornings, 7 till 10. Only on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome back. Rick Venturi was awesome. St. Joseph Brewery on Wednesday. They got beers with Bowen after me. Kev's going to join us. You guys want to come out and have some beers? St. Joseph Brewery has great food, by the way, too. That's coming up on Wednesday. I think other than that, I'm in studio tomorrow, in studio on Thursday. Colts pregame huddle at some point on Thursday begins 4 o'clock. I mentioned Saturday, you got IU football, IU and Ball State. I got to get Mike New on here. So my jackass friend Chris Hagan, right? I was at 59 last night, and I'm walking in to do a segment, and Mike New's walking out, and I didn't recognize him. It looked like Tony Romo for a distance. So numbnuts here, Chris Hagan says, "Oh yeah, you know who this is?" And of course I got it wrong because I'm an idiot, and I look like an idiot, and I felt terrible. So I want to publicly apologize to Mike New, even though nobody saw it. I'm going to call myself out. Thanks a lot, Hagan. Man, Hagan and 59 last night. And I looked at the television numbers on the reg for the hell of it. And I saw the TV numbers they did last night. Hell, I was glad I was a part of that. That was massive. Well done, Hagan. And everybody over there last night. My man Wes and JoJo. That was some big numbers they did last night. And it sure as hell wasn't a part of me. Listen, they took a picture of Hagan and I had on, like, I go with the V-neck dress shirt now. I swear to you, it looked like the 40-year anniversary photo of Air Supply with Hagan and I sitting up in those chairs. So it sure as hell wasn't about me. Nothing, zero. But did great numbers on 59 last night. That was well done. Scott wants to talk national media. Let's do that at 239-1070. Enough about 59 and big numbers and me not recognizing Mike New and looking like an ass. Scott, save the show. How are you?
Nice job so far today.
Thank you, buddy.
Why is it that both the Pacers and the Colts, whether it be Larry Bird leaving as the president of basketball operations or a coaching change or Granger or Manning retiring, why is it that the national folks exclusively, always, and without exception break the story when you've got people like Chappell that are in the building and have been since they moved here?
Well, it depends on who you're.
It wasn't just this weekend.
I got you. I get you. It depends on who you're connected with, and I mentioned this earlier. I did this once with the Manning situation way back when, and I kind of told myself at the time it's not even worth it. Unless people, it was ridiculous to have to deal with a bunch of crap, and I get a bunch of crap here locally too. A lot of misdirection and crap like that. But enough about me. Part of the reason is because of connections, and most of Schefter's connections are via agents. So they think that they're going to get their perspective out or this story out. And even if they have somebody on the interior, they think they're going to get these stories out instantaneously to everybody in the football world that follows Adam Schefter, which is basically everybody. And it's the same thing for Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN for NBA. They want to go to somebody that's immediately going to water the NBA lawn of nearly every fan, executive, anybody connected with the NBA or basketball. That's where they go first. And in large part, those dealings with the agents or how this thing works, those connections, that's how it works. So, and it's because of their scope, much more than the scope that maybe some of us have around here locally. If that makes sense to you, I hope it does.
Is there friction in the press box or around the lunch table when they cater an event between the national and the local?
No, I don't think so. I just think it's a given nowadays, especially with those two. I mean, you're talking about, and I hate to say this about Schefter, I mean, you're really talking about the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of breaking news with those two. I just think people realize that's the way that it is, and you deal with it, So, yeah, listen, does it make people mad around here? Absolutely. because you got competitors. I mean, these people do a great job, and they want to do it. They want to be informational. They do want to be dialed in. That thing on Saturday, I mean, it didn't come from inside the Colts. That was just, I think, something from the sideline that made its way up the chain. And again, the recipient of that is the guy with the largest scope, via social media, the largest presence as a information gatherer, news breaker in football, and that's Schefter. So that's how it happens.
Is there an understanding among the local media that the Colts, when it comes to communicating, are just dreadful? Because it seems to me this should have happened on Friday or Thursday, rather than risk it happening when you're playing a game and he's standing on the sidelines.
And I've said that too.
That's messing up a free lunch.
Yeah, I've said that too, man. I would agree with you. There's just no way you're going to keep a story of that magnitude under wraps, and I've talked about that for a couple of days, and I certainly would agree with that. So it is really interesting. The dynamic of breaking news is that, but those guys are the bird and magic of breaking news. And you'll get occasionally some people get stuff, but that's just kind of how it works, and most of their work is done through agents, my man.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. You call anytime, Scott. That's a good question, though, and believe me, I'm not mad about it. Yeah, I went through it one time, and hell, once was enough for me. I think I had the Grigson, and I kind of waited on the Grigson. What I normally do is, if I have something, I will sneak it out kind of in code, because it's kind of easy to track things down with me, right? So I'll kind of send it out, or I will stick my flag in the ground here locally with some people that I know, just to make sure that it is known and I'm not making it up. But yeah, I mean, it kind of sucked. I felt bad too, because I think Bill was mad, and Bill Poland at the time was mad, and he was going on, and I know back then it was frustrating for folks, because Bill, because he didn't like the star and he didn't like Bob Kravitz, would send out the information to John Clayton or Chris Mortensen and the national people that he knew back then. And I know that was frustrating to everybody around here, but yeah, nobody wants to hear about that whining, Scott. But that was a good question, really was. All right, NHRA tickets, you want to do that? The U.S. Nationals coming up this weekend. It is an awesome event, the Super Bowl of drag racing, and Straight Line Fever is awesome. And they do it great out at Lucas Oil Raceway. You want to do number 7 at 239-1070. NHRA tickets for you right now. We'll come back, reset, recap, set up tomorrow, and more with you next.
Well, if you like racing, the Fan's got you covered. Go to the contest page and register to win a pair of tickets to all of the great events going on at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this September.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Your world moves fast. Welcome to Velo, the nicotine product that was made to keep up. Velo is the modern take on nicotine. They're pouches that are made for you, made for right now. Because with no spit, no smoke, and no hassles, there are no limits to where you can go. So whatever your destination is, Velo's ready. Velo, no limits. Visit Velo.com. Website restricted to age 21 plus tobacco consumers. Underage sale prohibited.
John, for Diamonds Direct, best place to go is Diamonds Direct. What are we talking about here? Oh, yeah, we're talking about your engagement. I don't know, 2019. You got something on the calendar there, or you're getting ready to pop that question. What do you think? You tell me about the best place to go. I got it for you. That is Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing, because the selection is absolutely unmatched, and I mean unmatched anywhere. Where do you want to start? The greatness of the selection, the overall value, the warranties, and this is what we got for you. This incredible offer starts Saturday, so listen up carefully. Starting Saturday, with any purchase, you can get the low price Diamonds Direct is known for, and you pay nothing, and you get zero interest financing for 5 years. That's zero interest financing for 5 years, so think about that. So you get a $3,000 Diamond Eternity Band for just $50 a month, and everything's included here: rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, all designer jewelry, all certified jewelry. It is a beautiful thing, and it's going on this Saturday. That's the beginning of this. And if you're looking to take that relationship to the next level, here it is. 5 years, zero interest, nothing turn down. You'll love it at Diamonds Direct. It's on approved credit. See store for details or visit diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, making fine jewelry more affordable than ever before. Keystone and Crossing.
You wanted the best? Well, you got the best. The hottest band in the world.
Kiss, the end of the road tour. One last kiss. This Saturday, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Kiss on their final tour ever. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. History will be made.
Hey, I'm Dan Dockich, and research shows that 70% of all smokers want to quit. Many just need help to do it. Quitting tobacco can be hard. I know. I did it. I chewed tobacco for 25 years. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. I promise you, if I can do it, you can too. If you're ready to quit, get professional help. Call my friends at 1-800-QUIT-NOW. They have trained quit coaches, many of them ex-smokers, so they know what it takes to quit successfully. You'll get your very own personal quit coach who will work with you to develop a plan. Look, I know a little bit about coaching, and you need a good plan to win and to quit tobacco. Your quit coach will fight for your success. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. You have absolutely nothing to lose. It's free, it's confidential, and it works. No judgment, no lectures, just free help to quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Call now to receive a free 2-week supply of nicotine replacement patches or gum for a limited time.
Andy Moore Toyota. Look at the button just popped off. No, not on my sport coat because I'm not wearing one. The button on this board right here. Hey, here's what I got from Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. We got 3 vehicles that are going to give you $219 per month in a lease payments here. Are you ready? Number 1, the Camry LE. Number 2, the RAV4. Number 3, the Tacoma truck. Just $219. Let Ben Mendoza show you the way to vehicle greatness and bring back those days when, like your grandparents, you went to a place, you trusted that place, the car dealership had your best interest in mind, and you went back. Not just you, but then generationally with your family on after. You got that place again, and you got it in Avon. It's Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. Tell Ben Mendoza that I sent you today. 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
At Fidelity, we believe nothing should come between you and your money. So we're introducing 0 account fees with 0 minimums to open an account. All because we want you to invest with 0 trade-offs. Visit fidelity.com/value to learn more. 0 account minimums and 0 account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Expenses charged by investments such as funds and managed accounts and for commissions, interest charges, or other expenses for transactions may still apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
Summer's in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor George did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our house is a Victorian-style house. I'm not much of a painter, so I was happy that I would get a product that would last as long as Rhino Shield would.
Remember, with Rhino Shield, it's not paint, it's better.
Again, I mentioned it was an old house and all that, so they did a wonderful job making sure that everything was done to the way we wanted it handled.
Now get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right here in Central Indiana for 10% off the regular price.
Yeah, Rhino Shield on the house for 2.5 years. It looks great. It looks just like the day that they applied the finish to the house.
Here's owner Jim Williams.
This offer's limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Do you need that diamond engagement ring? See Pierce Jewelers in Carmel before you spend your hard-earned money somewhere else. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The Colts wrap up the preseason in Cincinnati. Coverage Thursday at 4 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
It's Jim Perry, now talk to him, damn it.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, the JMV Sucks golf outing, the 16th of September. Can we pack the joint, please? Thank you, Ted Bishop, down at Legends in Franklin. It's for the teachers, treasures, Central Indiana educators. You know I love you. You know how I feel about you. And that's September the 16th. We are, because more people wanted to attend and we've been sold out, that we've kind of upped the number of folks to like 180. And I'm freaked out over this. I'm scared. We've got to do it. We've got to do it for the teachers. We've got to do it for the educators. So please join me. Even if you hate my guts or you're like this jackass here that, I don't know, talking about I'm a mouthpiece of something. Believe me, if I were their mouthpiece, they'd be upset about some of the things I'm saying about them, all right? My man Chris says that he's tried to call 239-1070, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 times in the last 2 minutes. Hold on a second. I was going to see if that was him. And then somebody was mad because he was on hold for an hour and we hung up on him. I think that was accidental. I didn't mean to hang up on anybody. Hey, is this Chris? Is this Chris?
This is Isaac.
Is it not Chris Kaler?
This is Isaac.
What do you need, Isaac?
Calling in to talk on the show.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
All right. Am I on right now?
You're on. I kind of went against protocol and picked it up myself. I thought you were going to be somebody else.
All right, man. I'm just, I'm wondering about free agency, how this is going to affect us now, because we're not as a desirable destination for free agents now. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think that really matters, just simply because it's not like Chris really digs deep into free agency anyway, Isaac. Hey, call me again tomorrow. We'll elaborate a little bit more. You guys are asking about Eli Manning. I don't think that's going to happen unless they get somewhere mid-season and think that they're a quarterback away from being in high contention, which I don't see that happening. Is this Chris? Hello, Chris. Is this you?
No, this is Paul B. I don't want to talk about Andrew Luck. I want to talk about JMV's knee shot and his road back.
I got to run, Paul B., but I love you, brother. You know that. I love you. I love you, Paul B. I got to run. Brickyard Pack Tickets, number 9 to 239-1070. Chris, I'm sorry. You guys have been great today. Thank you for listening. Podcast 1075thefan.com in full with Rick Venturi. Kyle, excellent job. Back with you tomorrow at 3 with more. Have a great night.
Hey, it's Tony Kanan. I'm here with my friend Chuck Jones from BUSS Chevy. Chuck, what's hot this month?
Hey, TK. This month, we're clearing the lot with our back-to-school sale. We have up to 20% off all new Chevys.
Up to 20% off all new Chevys? You gotta be kidding me.
Nope. And there's no payments until Thanksgiving. You heard me right. No payments until Thanksgiving.
I better find new roads to BUSS Chevy or online at BUSSChevy.com. Just ask for the CJ deal.
Very funny, TK. Everybody knows it's the TK deal.
I can't believe what Diamonds Direct is doing starting this Saturday. For a limited time on any purchase, you can get 5 years zero-interest financing with nothing down. You heard that right. Buy now, get the guaranteed best price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 5 years without a dime in interest. So a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $50 a month, and everything's included from engagement rings to all designer jewelry. The best offer ever, starting Saturday at Diamonds Direct. On approved credit, details and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Hoosier fans, Indiana football tickets are on sale now for the 2019 season. IU football hosts 6 home games this fall, including matchups against Big Ten East rivals, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. Fans can purchase single-game tickets as low as $20 and $200 for season tickets. For complete ticket information, visit IUHoosiers.com today. Go IU!
Indiana Comic-Con is this weekend at Indianapolis's Indiana Convention Center. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 30th through September 1st. Featuring comic books, toys, costumes, Star Wars, Star Trek, Power Rangers, guest artists, writers, and celebrity guests. Check out Indiana Comic-Con this weekend, August 30th through September 1st in Indianapolis. Oh, and did I mention that kids 12 and under get in free? Visit IndianaComicCon.com for tickets and details.